at the welterweight division, and he gotta take a back seat and take that 60-40 or 70-30, wherever we give him.
If we fight, it's going to be either 70-30, 80-20. Was that?
Man, I was. When
Is
I
that
said
posturing or what was that?
When did I say that?
You know, that was.
Yeah, I said it on my girl Instagram. What's going? But I was playing. Yeah, man, nobody taking no 80-20, 70-30. Yeah, I was playing. I was like, because I was like, it's gonna be 60-40, and I was like, yeah, he keep playing crazy. It's gonna be 70-30 or 80-20. But yeah, I was playing. Like, I was serious about that, man. Like, people can't take jokes.
I was fooling y'all. Those was jokes. Woo!
Man, sit your ass down.
Those type of guys, they don't be hitting the link, and you don't get those too much black, man. They don't be hitting the link. Come explain that shit. How did
they gotta hit the link? They just when they say stupid shit like that, you already know.
Hey, Levi Anthony, bro, you can come on. You come on and speak your truth. You say Bud, Duck, and Earl. I really want to hear how you come up with that.
I don't understand why these dudes. It's like these dudes are fans of men. They not fans of the sport. Because if you fans of the sport, you see with your own two eyes what the fuck has been going on.
He say Bud, Duck, and Earl. I really gotta hear what he got to
say. He has to join the corner, King.
Yeah. I dropped the link for him. So come on, Anthony, go ahead, man. Tell me what it is, man. Explain that to me, bro. I really want to hear how Bud been ducking Earl for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So Levi Anthony that done came on to the podcast. So now we gotta hear what Levi Anthony gotta say, because you say Bud been ducking Earl for 4 years. So if you could please explain that to me, good sir.
All right, I can elaborate on that. I ain't come on here. We ain't gonna do no hating. I don't hate or whatever. I just go. I go where the facts take me. So check this out. When Bud was undisputed, at 140 and whatnot. When he moved up to 146, well, Bud made a claim, right? He said, I've been calling those guys out since before I moved to 47. I've been calling those guys out, like basically Errol Spence and all that. Really, he was calling out Thurman and Pacquiao. He wasn't calling for Errol. Okay, and here we go. So when he moved up to 47, he could have became the IBF mandatory to Errol Spence, but he didn't. He went the Jeff Horn route. So if he could have done that, is what I'm saying. Like, he could have he had all 4 belts at 140, meaning he could have been the IBF. He could have moved up and challenged all 4, any one of the 4 sanctioning bodies. He didn't do that. So if he say he's been calling for Errol Spence, why didn't he just become his mandatory? That's a duck.
Would you like me to explain that to you, fam?
No. You can explain to me. I'm just saying the facts are he didn't take that route. He could have. If he was so called. What I'm saying is if he was so called.
Hold on, D-Young. Let him finish.
All I'm saying is if he was so called, if he wanted that man, he could have just easily. He was undisputed champion. He could have easily moved up and became his IBF mandatory. Simple. The facts are. It's not about my opinion, and it's not about what I think. We're gonna leave all of what I think and all of my opinions aside. I go with the facts say. The facts say he could have done that. The rules say Bud could have moved up and could have challenged any 4 of the sanctioning bodies because he was undisputed. He had all 4 belts at 140. So he could have been, if he had been, all I'm saying is if he had been calling for Errol Spence like he wanted, all he had to do, just like he went and fought Jeff Horn, he chose to. That was a choice.
Okay. Let me get him real quick. So you say you like dealing with the facts, so I'm gonna give you the facts here, right? So first thing you need to know is that At the time, Bud was undisputed. After he had became undisputed, if you recall correctly, he actually dropped the IBF belt because the IBF actually were trying to force him to fight Sergey Lipinets. So he actually didn't even have the IBF belt to even go the IBF route, right? That's the first thing. Now, the second thing is you're talking about the rules, right? Now, the only sanctioning body that has rules where you can go up, move up in weight and challenge the champion right away is the WBO. All the other sanctioning bodies, it is.
Now, that's not true. I know how you like that. Y'all like to that's not true.
Hold on. Let me
go ahead.
Let me finish what I'm saying. It is true. The other sanctioning
bodies, that is not true at all. I've read the rule book.
Hold on. The other sanctioning bodies allow it where you can move up and be placed in the top 5, right? But they do not allow for you to become a mandatory right away. Those are two different things. Okay, because if you're placed in the top 5, you still have to fight your way up to a number 1 or mandatory spot. Meaning Bud would have had probably at least 1 or 2 fights before he can challenge the guy for the belt. Now, let me bring you here for a second. If you recall correctly, Jeff Horn had that belt, right? There's videos out there with Errol Spence challenging Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn, I want that fight, right? You recall those interviews with Errol Spence calling out Jeff Horn? We can make the fight happen, or do I gotta pull videos and stuff?
I mean, let's fight. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. I mean, he has a belt, I have a belt. Let's unify.
And stuff.
You can post some videos because I remember Bud fans hating on Errol for first off, Errol said he wanted anybody who had the WBO belt. So if you had it, he wanted to fight you. Basically. Okay, and then a lot of y'all like to say that Errol told Bud to go get a belt. That wasn't Errol who did that.
You know, that's why it's gonna happen. Hopefully he beats Jeff Horn and gets that belt. And like I said, I want to be undisputed welterweight champion of the world.
That was Thurman who said that.
Hold on. Before we take the conversation,
I'm just saying. I don't want. We can stick. No, let's stay on topic. We're gonna stay on topic.
I see you going somewhere else, but
no. We're gonna stay on topic. Go ahead. Okay, I just had to get that one straight.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So the only sanctioning body has it where you could be. So if you recall correctly, okay, Errol Spence had it where he was trying to fight Jeff Horn. If he would have fought Jeff Horn, or Keith Thurman would have fought Jeff Horn, or any of those other guys would have fought Jeff Horn, they would have became undisputed, right? And then they would have left the division. Earl already said he only got 2 fights at 147 pounds.
Hold on. If they would have fought Jeff Horn at that time, they would have. Who would have became undisputed?
Any of those, Earl probably would have been undisputed.
How would he have been undisputed if all he had was the IBF?
You don't think he would have fought Jeff Horn for that?
It's not about what I think. See, you get what I'm saying? You guys keep doing that. Y'all keep referring to what I think or not. It's not about that. It's not about what I think.
But he called out Jeff Horn, and I'm going to play you the video. He
called. If he fought Jeff Horn, all he would have had was the WBO.
Don't play that, King. Don't play that, King. That's
what I'm saying.
Levi,
all he had was the IBF belt. If he would have fought Jeff Horn, all he would have had was the WBO and the IBF. That's not undisputed. That's unified.
So you don't think he would have been undisputed by now if he would have fought Jeff Horn?
If he would have took that belt, then Bud wouldn't have had it. Then yeah, by now he would have yes, he would have been undisputed. If he would have took that belt, if he would have had the WBO by now, yeah, he would have been undisputed.
Okay, so if Errol Spence was,
but that's not what happened.
If Errol Spence was undisputed before Terence Crawford fight, do you think he would have fought Terence Crawford?
See, you keep going. We playing hypothetics.
No. It ain't no hypothetics.
That's a hypothetical question. Do you think if those are hypothetics?
No, he wouldn't fight Terence Crawford if Terence Crawford became undisputed before Earl was, became a champion or became on his radar. He wouldn't have fought Earl.
I'm saying, what point are you trying to make? Because
if Earl fought Jeff Horn. If Earl would have fought Jeff Horn and basically boxed Bud out, then yeah, bro, he would have went and got Sean Porter belt. Then he would have went and got Ugas belt.
And I've already said right now, yes, he would have been undisputed.
It's hypothetical though. Who cares?
Knockout.
It's hypothetical. Wait. But this goes back to my point. It's hypothetical because that's the reason Bud went the WBO route.
No, that's not. That doesn't make sense.
Let's go back to you though, fam. What's your name again? I'm sorry. Hold on.
That's Levi.
Levi. Let's go back to you, fam, because you made a statement saying Bud has been ducking for the last 4 years, right?
And I said why.
You said why, but based on the facts that have been presented to you, because we presented facts to you, fam. I ain't.
And I also I presented facts myself. So don't leave that part out though.
You didn't. You came.
Don't do that.
You didn't come with factual information. You say
I did.
You said Bud could have went the IBF route, but he didn't have the IBF.
The fact of the matter is, you do Bud fans say that he's been chasing and calling Errol out since before he got to 140, and he wasn't. That's a fact.
Hold on. You're deflecting again, bro. You said that Bud has been ducking for 4 years. Yes or no?
Yeah, that's what I call ducking. If you've been chasing Errol, but you didn't petition for the IBF, to become mandatory, then you can't. Then that's ducking.
One don't have nothing to do with the other, fam.
Yes, they do. One, they both coincide.
No, it don't. You said Bud has been ducking Errol
for the
last 4 years. That's what you said.
If Bud became the IBF mandatory or petitioned for it and fought Errol Spence, right? I wouldn't be able to say that he's ducking. Or I can't say that, oh, he's not chasing him, because they would have fought, wouldn't they?
Because that has to do with Errol ducking Bud for 4 years. We can get to that, but before we get to that, we got to make it past this whole part where you say Bud been ducking Errol. See, because
we already talked about it. You want to stay on it, and see and I see what you're doing. You want to just continue.
You ain't gonna change your mind, bro.
we've already discussed it. I've given you my reason, and you've discussed what you discussed, and you've given me your reasons. Let's move forward. I feel the way I feel, and you said it way you.
What you're saying,
what you're saying is facts.
You feel the way you feel, not based on no facts. You feel the way you feel.
What I'm saying is facts. You just don't want to take it for that.
But that's the thing. It's not facts though, fam. It ain't facts.
All right.
Oh, look at this guy.
You won the belt with nobody.
Horrible fighter. Horrible fighter.
Got beat by like a basic foundation.
Who mans is this? Get him the fuck out of here.
Payday. You want payday. I know that.
Hey, what up? What up? What I do, y'all? It's your boy King David in this thing, man. What it do, man? If y'all new to the channel, man, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that like button one time for your boy. You know what I'm saying? One time for your boy. Let me see who we got in the building. We got G Parker in the building. One of my day one subs. Salute to you, G Parker. In that motherfucking building. Salute to you, fam. My guy QT also in the motherfucking building, man. Hey, man, if anybody here in the chat, man, hey, y'all put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me good, bro. I say put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me good, man. Y'all listening out there, you know what I mean? Let me make sure we don't have no technical difficulties and nothing like that with the sound, because you know how my shit get down. If I don't get nothing in the next 10 seconds, I'm gonna have to check it. Hold on. Matter of fact, hold on. Okay, I ain't got no ones. Let me check this sound real quick, y'all. Hold up. I ain't got no ones or nothing. Hold up, y'all. Bear with your boy a minute. Just want to make sure that sound is good. Okay. I got a 1 in the chat. We good. Perfect. Yeah, man. Once again, man, salute to everybody out there, man. Salute to all the real boxing fans out there, man. You know what I mean? I say salute to all the real boxing fans out there, man. We got way less real boxing fans out there that should be. You know what I mean? We got a lot of fanboys. And a lot of nut huggers, but not enough real boxing fans, man. So salute to all the real boxing fans. That's why I always open up with salute to the real boxing fans out there, man, because we not fanboying. We not talking none of that fanboy shit. We talking all real stuff over here as boxing fans, man. We want to see all the biggest and all the best fights. We want to see all the biggest and all the best fights, man. So salute to everybody out here in the building. Salute to all the real boxing fans. Again, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, be sure to hit that goddamn like button on your way in. You know what I mean? Or if you can only drop down for a little bit, hit it on your way out, goddamn. Hit it on your way out. Okay, so cool, man. Let me read these comments, man. Let me see what y'all talking about. So my guy G Parker in the building, he say, I'm getting to the point, fam. Maybe it's easier to make the fight at 154. You might be right about that, G. You might just be right about that, man. We're gonna talk about that, man. We're gonna talk about that. My guy QT, he say, it's true, it's not an IBF rule. It's absolutely not an IBF rule, man. You talking about the video I was playing earlier. Yeah, man. A lot of people, they get immediate mandatory challenger confused with moving up and being placed in the top 5. Those are two completely different things, bro. Those are two completely different things. You can move up as the smaller guy and be placed in the top 5, but you still got to fight yourself into contention, into a mandatory slot. You got to fight yourself into that position. You got to beat the number 1 or the number 2 guy in that division. You may have to fight in an eliminator or 2 in order to be a mandatory, right? But it doesn't happen right away in every other sanctioning body like it does with the WBO. So that's what a lot of people don't understand, man. Salute to you, though, QT. You know your facts. My guy Diallo Huey in the building. Salute to you, fam. Appreciate you for coming on through, man. We finna rock out today. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate you for coming on through, man. Let me look at the poll, man, real quick before I get cooking on this topic today. Let me look at the poll. And the question I got in the poll right now is, do you think Terence Crawford should move on from Errol Spence Jr.? Right now, I got 11 votes, and I got 55% of everybody right now that says, yes, he should move on from Errol Spence Jr. I got 55% of everybody right now that say, yes, he should move on from Errol Spence Jr. And I got 42% of everybody that says, no, he should not move on from Errol Spence Jr. So the people that say, no, he should not move on from Errol Spence Jr., I'm curious to know what y'all reasons are. And we're going to open up the panel a little bit later so we could find out exactly what y'all thinking in regards to that question. You know what I'm saying? But as it stands right now, as of October 5th, 2022, right now, y'all, I'm under the impression that Terence Bud Crawford should move the fuck on from Errol Spence Jr. I just don't see the desire. I don't see the willingness to get in the ring with him. You know what I mean? I don't see it. And I'm going to explain a lot more as to what my thought process is in regards to that. But as of right now, I don't see it, y'all. I don't see it. But we're moving a little bit too far, too fast. Let's back up a little bit. Let's go back to the original question, and I'm going to begin to start cooking. Okay, my guy AB in the motherfucking building. Salute to you, AB. Welcome to the festivities, my guy. You know what I mean? Welcome to the festivities. My guy Joseph Bailey in the building. He say, salute, Bud is ready. 1. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute to you, my guy. You know what I'm saying? But back to the festivities at hand. To the meat and potatoes, the question I have is, should Bud Crawford move on, man? And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm under the impression that he should move on from Errol Spence Jr. I'm not seeing the desire from Errol Spence Jr. to get in the ring with a Terence Bud Crawford. I mean, we just got to rehash it in order for y'all to fully understand why I feel that way. And y'all know, the real ones know why he should move on. But come on, bro. After all the BS that we've been going through over the last 4.5, 5 years, to get a belt first, right? The easy route, right? You know what I'm saying? I would have, to be real with y'all, bro, I would have been done with Errol Spence at the easy route. I don't know about y'all, but the second I try to fight a nigga and a nigga tell me that he want to take an easy route instead of getting the ring with me, I would have been done with him right then and there. That would have told me everything that I needed to know about the nigga right then and there. When I get to a dude face and he tell me he'd rather take an easy route, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to move on with my career because clearly he don't want to fight. So that would have been me right there. But Bud Crawford chose to press on and continue to corner this dude. But the excuses kept raining in, right? There was the other side of the street. Then the 60-40, 70-30. Then the 80-20. You know what I'm saying? Then it was the promoter thing, right? Oh, he on the other side of the street. He was the promoter. And then on top of this, man, he contradicted himself in every single one of these excuses. Like every single one of these excuses, Errol Spence completely and utterly contradicted himself. You know what I'm saying? The nigga told Bud to get a belt first and then fought Mikey and Danny with no belt. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is elementary stuff. How you tell a dude to get a belt, but then you're okay with fighting dudes with no belt? Huh? You know what I'm saying? It's just contradictory. You say you want to take the easy route, right? You say you want to collect all your belts on your side of the street, but again, you fight dudes with no belt, right? You say that Bud Crawford's on the other side of the street and you can't make fights with guys on the other side of the street, but then you try to fight Jeff Horn, right? And then also we seen fights between cross-promotional fights like between John Molina Jr., Terence Bud Crawford, Felix Diaz, Terence Bud Crawford. These are all cross-promotional fights. But for some reason, for some way, it's an issue of making a fight with a Terence Bud Crawford. Then we got the 60-40, 70-30, 80-20 bullshit. But again, another contradiction because you give Danny Garcia and Sean Porter 60-40, but you're throwing out offers like 70-30 and 80-20 to Terence Bud Crawford, a guy with a bigger name and more accomplished than Errol Spence Jr., right? So the contradictions just rain down from Errol Spence Jr. And then we get to this contract shit, bro. Then we get to all these negotiations with this contract, bro. And it's like, oh my Lord, the excuses rain down. It's like, it's crazy to me, bro. Like, one thing I say to y'all for sure, bro, is I don't know how, I'm sure a lot of y'all got women. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a lot of y'all got women, right? Who has the power in the relationship? The person that has power in the relationship is the person that cares the least, right? That's usually the person that's able to dictate the terms of the relationship in this particular case, right? So by these negotiations alone, it's pretty clear to see that Errol Spence did not care about making a fight with a Terence Bud Crawford. He didn't care. Because there's no way you can give a guy way lower, way less than you've given prior opponents with less of a name and less accolades. There's no way you can justify doing that unless the only way you threw out that offer was just like you didn't care one way or another, right? Which in this particular case, you threw out an offer that you thought Bud Crawford wouldn't take. That's really what the situation is. For the people that follow the sport and know what the fuck I'm talking about, who understand the real shit, the offer you threw out clearly was an offer that was never meant to be taken. Point blank, period, end of discussion. The 35%, even though, again, Mikey and Danny and Sean and your Dennis Ugas got more than 35%, the no guarantee. When every single opponent on the PBC gets a guarantee. Name one opponent who's never gotten a guarantee on PBC. Don't worry, I'll wait. No one's ever gotten a guarantee on PBC, but Bud Crawford, or no one's ever gone without a guarantee on PBC, but Bud Crawford now has to take an offer with no guarantee in order to ensure that he gets a fight with Errol Spence Jr., a dude who supposedly wants to fight, right? Out there, right? And then we get to this final issue because there's several issues along the road, right? Oh, and I missed one. Oh, the rematch, the B-side on the rematch, right? The B-side on the rematch, which Bud Crawford, even if he wins, has to take a lesser split on the rematch, right? Similar to another guy who we know didn't want to fight, George Kambosos, right? We literally gonna have to start calling Errol Spence Errol Kambosos Jr. That's literally what we're gonna have to start doing. His new name gonna be Errol Kambosos. Errol Kambosos Jr. don't want to fight with a Terence Bud Crawford. But back to the transparency thing. Now we got this whole thing with transparency where these niggas on the PBC, and I'm not gonna mention PBC too much because at the end of the day, the PBC represents Errol Spence Jr. So I'm going to be speaking directly as if Errol Spence Jr. is the guy, right, that needs to be spoken to, which he is. So those guys represent Errol Spence Jr. So these dudes literally want Terence Bud Crawford to accept a percentage split, right, without giving the man any transparency or any approval on what the fuck is going on when it comes to the event in itself. So I'm just trying to figure out, for the Errol Spence fans that support this bullshit, where they do that at. When does a dude take a percentage split but not know what the percentage is based off of? Like Business 101 tell you that if you're going to take a percentage split, you're going to need to know what the split is based on. And you're going to need to know the intricacies of what that deal offers. You know what I mean? So for anybody to have any kind of problem with Terence Bud Crawford having an issue with that, clearly you're honest. Even if you have a job, bro, even if you got a job and you work off a commission, you're going to need to know what you're getting commission based on, right? So I don't understand how these dudes have an issue with Bud having a problem with that. I never will. It don't make sense. And honestly and truly, these niggas really can't explain that shit away. There's no conceivable way you can justify that. You know what I mean? Therefore, it only leads the world, right? The world to the conclusion that Errol Spence Jr. is the biggest duck in the history of ducks. That's literally how this dude is looking out here on these boxing streets, man. Like the biggest duck. But we knew him to be the duck for the last 4 years. We knew that this man was a duck. But the world is beginning to see it, man. And I couldn't be happier about that. But back on point, though. Right? So, Errol Spence, earlier today, he released a tweet. And I don't know how many of y'all seen the tweet. Let me go ahead and pull it up for the people in the back. Errol Spence Jr. released a tweet. And let me show y'all this shit. And let's break this shit down. Oh, here we go. So Errol Spence Jr. releases a tweet. Scroll down to what he talking about. He releases a tweet today. And I'm going to read this motherfucker for you, so y'all can see what the hell I'm talking about. Errol Spence Jr. says in his first tweet, is directed towards Keyshawn Davies, which first and foremost is very peculiar considering the guy that you're supposed to be getting in the ring with is a Terence Bud Crawford. So why in the hell are you talking to Keyshawn Davies? I'm just really trying to figure it out. But let's read the tweet. He says, I don't need to lie. I don't need to lie to you. I don't throw shade. Your little cheerleading ass gonna be heartbroken when I put that boy dick in the dirt. So first of all, pause. Because damn, nigga, really? But then after the pause, right? After the pause, if you feel that type, if you got that type of energy, wouldn't it be the grown man thing to do to direct that towards a Terence Bud Crawford, or at least at him in the comment? Wouldn't that be the grown man thing to do? And then when you say his boy, again, Errol Spence being vague and irritating, right? Like we could jump to the conclusion that it's Terence Bud Crawford, but because he doesn't say Terence Bud Crawford's name, it leads us to draw inferences, right? But, and I'm going to bring this shit full circle, because what a lot of Errol Spence fans will do is they'll say, well, we know who he's talking about. We know who Errol Spence is talking about when he says that shit. We know who he's talking about. Okay, we know who he's talking about. But let's say Errol Spence fights somebody outside of a Terence Bud Crawford. Do you know what Errol Spence fans will do? Errol Spence never said Terence Crawford's name in that tweet, so you don't know whether or not he was talking to Terence Crawford. See, that's the type of bullshit games that a lot of these dudes like to play. See, this is why names got to be brought up. Because just in case the fight don't happen, Errol Spence fans are going to be the same niggas that's going to be using tweets like this and saying, well, he never said Bud Crawford's name. He never said his name. He really could have been talking about anybody. So I don't really dig the cryptic, vague-ass messages on behalf of Errol Spence. But furthermore, Errol Spence also says earlier on today, shit, Shit is happening next. The shit is happening next. All you need to know. Okay, so again, a very vague, very ambiguous statement by Errol Spence Jr. Shit is happening next. Not saying no names, not pointing no fingers. And again, it gives you plausible deniability. Just in case the fight don't happen, you could turn around and say, well, I wasn't talking about Terence Crawford and his fans. Errol Spence never said he was talking about Terence Crawford, when we're all supposed to be expected to draw the inference that he was talking about Terence Crawford. See what I'm saying? This is exactly what I'm talking about. But to dig a little bit deeper on it, you know what I'm saying? Because this vague and ambiguous shit is a staple of Errol Spence Jr. But to dig a little bit deeper on it, and I'm not trying to be funny when I do this. But this is all Errol Spence has done to make the fight. And okay, we got a super chat here in the building, man. You got a super chat in the building. My guy, Truly Israel, in the building, man. Salute to your fam. He say, salute King David. I think Terence Crawford should move on, but stay at 147 until Errol Spence drops the belt. People think that Crawford won't fight Boots. They will be surprised. Absolutely, man. I agree with you 100%, man. I think he would fight Boots. I think that'll actually be a good fight for Terence Crawford to pursue at this particular point, because Boots is the guy that everybody says that nobody will fight. So if Terence Crawford gets in the ring with him, beats him up, I think that'll do a lot for him at 147 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And with Bud still in the weight division, just like my guy Truly Israel say, there's no wiggle room for Errol Spence to go left or right. At the end of the day, all the rumblings and all the crumblings will be about why he hadn't fought a Terence Bud Crawford. Point blank, period, end of discussion. So I agree with you 100%, Truly Israel. Salute to you, fam, and appreciate you for that super chat, that $9.99 super chat. That boy dropping that bread out here on these boxing streets. Salute to you, fam. Yes, sir. But let me get back on point, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go into the comment section. But you know what I'm saying? So here go the thing, y'all. My thing about that tweet that I just read a little bit earlier. The thing about this tweet is that this is all Errol Spence has done to make the fight. This is about as much as Errol Spence has done when you think about it, right? You think about all the things that Bud Crawford has done in order to make the fight happen. The fact that he crossed the street, the fact that he waited on the easy route, the fact that he took a ridiculous lowball offer in order to get this fight done, right? Left the promoter paying him the most amount of money in order to take this ridiculous lowball on behalf of Errol Spence Jr. The fact that he did that, right? He did all that. But then all Errol Spence has been doing is hiding and posting annoying, ambiguous shit like he did earlier today. This is all the man has done. This is all the man has done for as long as we can remember, for the last 4 and 5 years. It took him about 4 years to even say Bud Crawford's name in the first place. And this is the shit I'm talking about. Took you 4 years to say the man's name in the first place. All you've ever done in regards to make the fight was call him out 4.5 years after he originally called you out. And then your work or your heavy lifting is tweeting ridiculous, vague, and ambiguous tweets like what you did today. But the fact of the matter is, Errol Spence Jr., if you really want the fight with a Terence Bud Crawford, I would think that you should be on the phone with Al Heyman, telling Al Heyman that he needs to do whatever needs to be done in order to make this fight happen, and not asking for more ridiculous concessions on behalf of Terence Bud Crawford, considering he's the only one making them, and considering he's the only one doing what needs to be done in order to make the fight happen, right? So this all brings me full circle to where I was. The fact of the matter is, I really don't think that Bud Crawford should wait around any longer on Errol Spence Jr. I think he's 34 years old. Actually, 34 years old. It's facts that he is 34 years old. He's waiting around long enough on Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no time to waste with this dude no more, man. We ain't got no time for no more ridiculous offers or ridiculous concessions for Bud Crawford to take in order to get him in the ring. And Bud's did a really good job cornering this man. But I think it's time to just move on, bro. If Errol Spence, all he could do is tweet, like, you should be on the phone with Al Heyman. It's time to move the fuck on, man. He need to get in there, just like what my guy said. If he hung around at 147, he got in there with Boots, or he got in there with Virgil Ortiz, man, or even got in there with Keith one-time Thurman. You know, Keith Thurman, I know he be capping a lot, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Keith Thurman really ain't got no better options at this particular point in time. And he might be willing to take a fight, you know what I mean, between him and Bud Crawford. And that would be a good name on Bud Crawford's resume, a Keith one-time Thurman, you know? So that might be the route for him to take, you know, rather than sit around and waste more time with Errol Spence Jr., bro. It's been Terence Bud Crawford has been done with Top Rank since November of 2021. It is about to be October of 2022. November of 2021 is when these negotiations started, or should have started, right? Meaning they would have been negotiating for a full year in order to get to this particular point at 35%. Imagine what the offer would have been, bro, if Bud Crawford, a year ago when Bud started negotiating for this fight, to get to 35%. If you had 35% with no guarantee and a B-side on the rematch, imagine what the original offer would have been. You know what I mean? It's crazy to even think about. But let me read some of these comments real quick, man. Let me see what y'all talking about out here on these boxer streets, man. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Hold on. My guy AB say, salute my G. Flames, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My guy AB in the building, man. My guy Joseph Belly, he say, salute, Bud is ready. Yes, sir. 100%. Yes, sir. AB say, Bud should move on. I know AB gonna say that. My guy AB been he's been the one guy consistently saying for the longest time that the fight ain't happening. So based on that logic alone, Bud should definitely move on, according to my guy AB, Ardringer's Barber. Salute to you, fam. My guy Lightspeed in the building. He say, oh, strap season is over now. Oh man, strap season been over since strap season really been over since Ocampo. Since not Ocampo, I'm sorry. Strap season really been over since Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? Really. He picked it back up with Ugas, but that was only a convenience. You know what I'm saying? Only a convenience. Argentis Barber say, Bud did everything they asked and still some bullshit. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. 100%. Miss Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building say, salute to you, salute King, salute Miss Knockout Boxing 86 TV, man. My very much salute to you and your good husband, man. Salute to y'all for coming on through, man. Really appreciate y'all for sliding on through, man. If you're both in the building, you know. My guy Bandale in the building, he say, I feel you, KD, but Bud can't move on. Oh, he definitely can move on. He most definitely can move on. And I know what y'all thinking. Y'all thinking that the PBC and all these dudes are gonna be an issue as far as Bud getting fights. I know that's what y'all thinking right now, but at the end of the day, man, you know, it's gotta be easier than this shit. You know what I'm saying? Getting fights. You know, he can build his name and his legacy other ways. It's gotta be easier than this shit. It's gotta be. You know what I mean? It's the 35%, the no guarantee, you know, the B-side on the rematch. You know, it's gotta be a year of negotiating. It's gotta be easier to move on than to keep fucking around with Errol Spence and all his ridiculous demands that he needs for this contract. And again, I say Errol Spence, and I don't blame PBC because the PBC works for Errol Spence Jr. They work on his behalf. Point blank, period, in the discussion. So Bud can move on. He could do whatever he want to do. And I guarantee that whatever it is that he want to do, it would be probably easier than making this fight with Errol Spence Jr. Because every single report, every single news publication that comes out in regards to what's happening with this fight, it gets more and more absurd. It gets more and more absurd every time I hear a new news report or article. First, it was the 35%, right? Then we heard about no guarantee on the next report. Then we hear about the rematch, and Bud got to take a B-side on the rematch. Now we hear about these dudes saying that he gets no transparency, meaning he don't know how much the revenue is gonna be, meaning he ain't got no say so on the budget or the expenses, right? Meaning these dudes can go out and eat dinner. Everybody in the stadium eat dinner, and it be factored into the expense of the event. This dude is getting paid off the net profit. He's getting paid. What sports person gets paid on an athlete, should I say, gets paid on net profit? You know what I mean? Net profit is like you operating a business. Business owners get paid on net profit, right? If I'm fighting on behalf of PBC, I'm not getting paid no damn net profit. I should be getting a split of the total overall revenue. So you telling me I can't get a split of the overall revenue? I get split off of the net profit, but I ain't got no business owner say so. You paying me like I'm a business owner, but you ain't giving me no business owner privileges. You paying me like I'm a partner, but I don't get no partner privileges. I ain't got no say so on what's being spent on what or how it's being spent or none of that. And then you don't want to give me no transparency, meaning we could have made $100 million, but you could tell me that you made $10 million. So now I got to take 35% of $10 million when in reality you made $100 million. Who in the fuck is supposed to take that? Who's supposed to be cool with this shit, bro? Nobody. Nobody is going to be cool with this. That's why it's looking like for me, like the fight ain't going to happen. That's a ridiculous ask. That is a ridiculous ask. And even though I know Bud Crawford really wants to fight with Errol Spence Jr., even though I know he really wants to fight, I think that's the limit right there. That's the breaking point. You can't ask no man to just assume what it is the revenue is and take your word for it without nothing to back up what the fuck it is that you saying. You want me to be a business partner, but I can't look in the books? Nah, bro, that ain't how shit work. Not no way, not no how. My guy Soul Archin in the building. He say, peace to everybody listening. Peace, King David. You've been kicking facts for some time now. You can't reason with Spence groupies / trolls. These are facts. These are facts right here. Yeah, man. You can't reason with them. You can't. All you can hope to do is make them look dumb, but you can't reason with them. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My guy Truly Israel says facts. Salute to you, Truly Israel. Yes, sir. D-Ray Promotions say salute, King David. Salute to my guy D-Ray Promotions. One of my day ones in the building. Salute to you, D-Ray. Yes, sir. Lightspeed says, say his name. Mike Tyson voice. Facts. Facts, man. Dude talking all in riddles and in parables and Bible scriptures and shit. You know what I mean? He saying everybody, he over there, he acting, hey, Lightspeed, he acting Keyshawn Davies, but he can't act Bud Crawford. But this is your guy right here. Errol Spence is your guy. He acting Keyshawn Davies, a lightweight, a prospect lightweight at that. But he can't act Terence Bud Crawford, right? Don't just remind you of a situation. Don't just remind you of when Blair Cobbs was talking smack and Errol Spence Jr. thought it okay to respond to Blair Cobbs but not Terence Bud Crawford. Like, this is the type of shit that we get from Errol Spence Jr. And niggas respect this? Y'all respect this type of behavior on behalf of your champ? Like, this is your guy? You get behind, if you an Errol Spence fan, this is your guy? He can't even act Bud Crawford. He acting Keyshawn Davies? Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Come on. Truly Israel say, I was watching Terence Crawford and Keith Thurman. Yeah, man, me too, man. Back in the days, man. Definitely watching Terence Crawford and Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman was good, man. Keith Thurman was good, man. I wouldn't mind watching that fight, man. I wouldn't mind watching that fight. And I guarantee that fight would be a lot easier to make than this Errol Spence Jr. fight. Because making this fight right now is pulling teeth. An entire year has gone by. An entire year of negotiating has gone by. And Terence Crawford is left with no guarantee, a 35% split, and a B-side on a rematch. I swear the original offer was probably a 5 for 5 or a 4 for 4 at Wendy's or some shit. I swear the original offer was probably a $50 Visa gift card for Bud Crawford. If we landed at 35% with no guarantee and a B-side on the rematch, the original offer was probably a $35 Visa gift card for Bud Crawford. He probably had to negotiate himself up from that Visa gift card slowly but surely over this year. Because if this is where we're at now, after all this negotiating, this shit don't make no damn sense, man. And I guarantee you a fight with anybody else will be easier to make than this fight with Errol Spence Jr. But let's keep it going, though. Truly, Israel say, and I will show proof of receipt that I bought the pay-per-view. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Facts. We buying pay-per-views over here, bro. Point blank, period. Truly, Israel say, I will watch that Crawford versus Thurman fight. I'll watch it too, man. That's a good goddamn fight. And honestly, if Bud fought Thurman now, that would cut off Errol Spence from fighting Thurman. Because if you ask Errol Spence fans who Errol Spence is going to fight next, they all most certainly say Keith Thurman because they know that's the next biggest fight outside of a Terence Crawford. So if Terence Crawford fought Keith Thurman and inevitably stopped him like like we all know he will, that eliminates that potential big fight for Errol Spence Jr., right? We know Errol Spence Jr. ain't fighting Jermell Charlo. So Errol Spence Jr. is left literally with no other opportunities. He's left with no other options for big fights, right? All you got at that division is Boots, Virgil Ortiz. Again, high risk, low reward fights. And we already know you don't want no smoke because if you did want some smoke, you would have fought Terence Bud Crawford 4.5 years ago. Bundell say Bud is 35 now. You're damn right. He damn sure did turn 35 recently, didn't he, Bundell? He just turned 35 years old, y'all. So this man is 35 years old, man. He damn sure ain't got no time to be wasting bullshitting around with Errol Spence Jr. He damn sure ain't got no time to be sitting around waiting on these dudes to put up another bullshit concession or another bullshit. They're asking some other bullshit of them. You know what I mean? These dudes might turn around and say, Bud Crawford, he can only fight with one hand. I feel like these dudes might come out with some shit like that. I mean, you just never know, because each and every one of these concessions that Bud Crawford has to make, it gets more and more absurd. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to write into the contract that Bud is only allowed to fight with his left hand. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if they said that Bud Crawford is only allowed to fight if he agrees not to knock Errol Spence out. As long as he agrees not to knock Errol Spence out, then we can go ahead and we can sign a contract based on that. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Shout out to my guy Bud Crawford beats Easy Roof Spence, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My guy the villain in the building, he say 50-50 guaranteed purse and back end money. Hey, that's what it should be. That's what it should be. That's what everybody else got from Errol Spence Jr. for the most part. But when it comes to Bud Crawford, for some reason, we don't get the same respect with Bud Crawford. I don't know what it is. Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Okay, salute to you, fam. He say, all in reports are, I imagine those are cap emojis. It's clear to see using common sense and logic. Okay. You saying that all those reports are cap. Okay. I'm curious to know why all those reports are cap. Right? From Mike Coppinger, who coincidentally is the same guy that a lot of Errol Spence fans get a lot of Errol Spence's pay-per-view numbers from, right? When Mike Coppinger is giving pay-per-view numbers for Errol Spence Jr., those are legit. But when Mike Coppinger gives reports on behalf of the negotiations between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, it's cap. You know what I mean? And then Knockout, even you yourself, because I was looking at watching your videos, man. And salute to my guy Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Y'all be sure to subscribe to my guy channel when y'all get a chance. But I was even listening to your channel, fam, and you even alluded yourself that a lot of these reports were from Team Bud Crawford or Bud Crawford himself. So if these reports are from Team Bud Crawford or Bud Crawford himself, essentially by you saying that it's cap, essentially you're saying that Bud Crawford himself is lying about what the split is, right? You're essentially, if you're alluding that Bud Crawford is the source of these reports, or Team Bud Crawford is the source of these reports, by you calling those reports cap, essentially you're saying that Bud Crawford is lying. But my question to you is, what does Bud Crawford have to lie for? What would be his reasoning for lying? The only possible explanation you could come up with is to look good in the public. But even that in itself doesn't make sense, because why would you lie about getting less money and taking a lowball deal so you can look good in the public and possibly get lowballed more, right? Or vice versa. Either way, it's not a good look when you're looking at these negotiations. So what reason does Bud Crawford have to lie about getting lowballed by the PBC and by Errol Spence? What would be his reasoning for that? I'm not following what the reasoning would be. If you can explain that, knockout, shout out to you, but I doubt you can, because there's no reason for Bud Crawford to lie about being lowball. I'm not saying that the dude tells the truth all the time, because nobody tells the truth all the time, right? At least most people. But if he's lying, then you got to explain why he would lie about that, which you're not going to be able to do, because there's nothing for Bud Crawford to gain by lying about something like that. Clearly, he wants to fight. He's the one that's made all the sacrifices to get the fight, all verifiable sacrifices. Because if you're saying that all the 35% and the no guarantee, if you're saying all that is cap, okay, fine. Let's take what he did prior to the negotiation. Let's take him crossing the street in order to make the Errol Spence fight. Let's look at the fact that the man crossed the street in order to make the Errol Spence fight. Left the promoter that was paying him the most amount of money to cross the street and make the Errol Spence fight. Let's talk about him getting a belt when Errol Spence and Keith Thurman told him he needed to get a belt in order to make the fight. So you see Bud Crawford putting himself in position to get the fight. So you got to explain why a dude who's done that at this particular point, and we can see that he's done that. You got to explain why a dude who's noticeably physically done that, why he would all of a sudden lie at the negotiation table to make himself quote unquote look good in the public. That don't make sense. Truly Israel says people are always talking about Crawford age. All of the great boxers don't retire into the late 40s age. Nothing, late 40 ages. Nothing. It's just how you feel at the end of the day. Yeah, man, I'm not saying that Bud ain't gonna be able to perform. He just ain't got time to be fucking messing around with Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? Truly Israel. He just ain't got time to be bullshitting around. You know, that's when I bring up the age. That's how I think Bud Crawford is still gonna be Bud Crawford at the end of the day, and he still knocks Errol Spence out, in my opinion, if they get in the ring today. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he ain't got time to be messing around with Errol Spence Jr. We ain't got time for another 4-year chase. We ain't got time for another 4-year chase, truly, Israel. So that's all I'm saying. D-Ray Promotion say knockout, what to do? Okay, y'all talking to each other, man. Let me keep it going on. Truly Israel say, meant to say early 40s. I get what you were saying, early 40s. Yeah, that makes sense. Ricky Kamado says, hold on, I can't even see the emoji. Errol, the duck. I'm imagining that's a duck emoji. I imagine that's a duck emoji. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Errol the duck. Yes, sir. Like I thought. I can't see it from the stream, y'all, but I can see it when I go into the actual thing, man. Salute to you, fam. Errol the duck. Absolutely. Bandale says, Bud won't move on because he feels the only way to prove that he's the best at 147
is to shut up his critics, Spence fanboys, and beat Spence. Yeah, man. I mean, clearly he's committed at this point to fight Errol Spence, man, and you can see it. The fact that we even having this conversation right now shows how committed he is, given everything that we know about what's been happening in these negotiations. The fact that we're even still having this conversation proves how much Bud Crawford wants to fight. But even though Bud Crawford really wants this fight, even though he really wants this fight, and this brings me right back into what I was saying a little bit earlier, you can't make nobody get in the ring with you. You know what I mean? You can't make nobody get in the ring with you. You can't. As much as you want to, as much as you want to make somebody do what you want them to do, you can't. You can't make somebody fight when they don't want to fight. You can't make somebody talk when they want to talk. You can't make nobody do anything that they don't want to do. Shit, you can't even make your own kids do what you want them to do. I got a daughter, and she rarely do what I want her to do. You know what I mean? So my whole point is, yeah, Bud Crawford really wants to fight. He's shown it. He's shown that he really wants to fight. But at the end of the day, there gotta be a limit. There gotta be a cap off as far as like how long you're gonna continue to mess with this dude at 35 years old. You see, a dude like Devin Haney, he got time to be sitting around chasing dudes and calling names. He's 25 years old. You got time for that. But Bud Crawford, even if he fights all the way to the age of 40, he's definitely at the tail end of his career and just ain't got no time to be wasting on Errol Spence Jr., man. He really don't. Truly, Israel says, easy route. Salute, King. Absolutely, man. Yes, sir. My guy Lightspeed says, facts. He got time to argue with Bud's apprentice. The shit is weak. And not just PBC. Spence looking like a whole clown. And Spence fans are sounding goofier every day. Absolutely, man. They sounding goofier and goofier every day, man, because there's just no real way to defend this shit, bro. And you make yourself look bad when you even try to defend this. You make yourself look bad when you even try to defend this, bro. You know what I mean? You can't justify all this shit. You can't justify Bud taking no guarantee when no fighter in the history of the PBC has ever fought with no guarantee, y'all. Do y'all not understand it, bruh? No fighter in the history of the PBC has fought with no guarantee. Naka, you were saying this a little bit earlier too, if you still in the building. No fighter in the history of the PBC has ever fought with no guarantee. Yet and still, Bud Crawford is expected to fight with no guarantee in what is supposed to be the biggest fight in boxing. Bud Crawford agreed to a 35% split, even though Errol Spence's lowest split that he gave to any other pay-per-view fighter was 40%. Danny Garcia got 40%, y'all. Danny Garcia, a guy with no belt, a guy with 2 losses, a guy with a lower name than a Bud Crawford, got 40%. But Bud Crawford is supposed to take a 35% split, lower than Danny Garcia. There's no possible way to justify it. As a matter of fact, the only way you could justify it is just like how my guy Knockout was trying to justify it by saying the whole thing is a lie. That's the only way you could justify it, right? That's your best bet, is to say the whole thing is a lie. Because if you believe this even for a second, then you got to admit to yourself that clearly Errol Spence, the PBC, Al Heyman, clearly these dudes did not want to fight, because there's no way you would give a fighter like a Bud Crawford that kind of offer if you wanted to see him in the ring. There's just no way. My guy GK Black in the building. Salute to you, GK Black. Yes, sir. In the motherfucking building. He's like, it's obvious Bud craves this fight, but you can tell he doesn't want to get let down and not getting it like the Pacquiao fight. If he moves on, I won't blame him, but it sucks the game Spence is playing. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. You can tell, man, he's desperate for the fight, man, because he's just agreeing to these, bro. These terms are horrendous. These terms are ridiculous, bro. These terms are absolutely ridiculous. There's no way you could justify these terms. No way you could justify these terms. My guy Truly Israel says, I feel you, King David. Yes, sir. GK Black say salute. Yes, sir. GK Black. GK Black also says, how we get Shakur versus Valdez before the fight when Valdez was ducking like crazy. Yeah, man. Before this fight. Yeah, man. Valdez was ducking like a motherfucker. And that's another thing, man. A lot of these dudes want to do all this capping for PBC. Oh, PBC is the place to be. PBC is the place to be. PBC is the place where fights don't happen. These are facts. PBC is the place where fights don't happen. When was the last time the PBC gave us a fight that we actually wanted to see, y'all? Riddle me that. When was the last time the PBC gave us a fight that we actually wanted to see? Right? But Bud Crawford was signed to the wrong promoter when he was with Top Rank, though, right? When Bud Crawford was signed to Top Rank, he was with the wrong promoter. But if we compare to PBC, these are the dudes not making the fights happen. We got to see Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez undisputed. We got Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez, right? Bud Crawford went undisputed at 140 pounds on Top Rank. We get all these fights on Top Rank, but absolutely nothing from the PBC. But Top Rank is the problem, though, right? Bob Arum, blame Bob. That's what a lot of these dudes like saying. Blame Bob. Blame Bob Arum. Blame Bob Arum. Bud is on the wrong side of the street. Blame Bob Arum. But last time I checked, Bob Arum is the guy making the fights. And Al Heyman is the guy stopping the fights. But let's keep it going, though. Still says, if this fight doesn't happen, I will never buy another PBC pay-per-view. How can Spence sit up there and claim he's the best? And that's when he's clearly he's clearly swerving Bud. Absolutely, man. You want to call yourself the best, but clearly you got a guy over there with a belt that you've been doing anything and everything in your power not to fight, if we keeping it a buck. But salute to you, though, still. Big facts. My guy Soul Archin says, peace truly Israel. Okay, y'all talking to each other. I'm going to skip on that. Knockout says, he says, if no fighter in history of the PBC has ever fought without a guarantee, why do y'all believe Cappinger is reporting? But again, don't knock out. Cappinger is the same guy who reports all of Errol Spence's numbers. He's the same guy that reports all of Errol Spence's numbers. And you yourself alluded to the fact that these reports are coming from Team Bud Crawford or Terence Bud Crawford himself, right? So if that's the case, and these reports are coming from Bud Crawford, then you got to explain why Bud Crawford would lie about taking a lowball deal from Errol Spence Jr. Are you saying that Mike Cappinger made all of this up? Is that what you're saying, Knockout? Because Blue Blood Sports TV reported the same thing. Knockout. Bernie the Boxer, a guy a part of Team Crawford, also reported the same thing. Right? He also reported the same thing. So by you saying that this is a lie, you're admitting the two things, Knockout. You're admitting the two things when you say that this is a lie. The first thing that you're admitting is, if this is the truth, you're admitting that this is some bullshit. You're admitting that this is a lowball deal, and there's no way in hell that Errol Spence should be offering Terence Bud Crawford an offer like that. That's the first thing that you're admitting. The second thing that you're admitting, or that you're saying when you make that statement, is that Blue Blood, Bernie the Boxer, right? Mike Cappinger, all liars, right? And furthermore, if they're all liars, Bud Crawford is lying. Those are the two things that you're admitting to. But then when you say that, on that second thing, when you say that, then you got to admit why, you got to explain why Bud Crawford would lie about taking a low ball. But let's keep it going, though. My guy, Terry Smoot Jr. in the motherfucking building with the fists up. Number one troll in the United States, Terry Smoot Jr. Salute to you, fam. Got the fists up in the air, man. That's my guy, Terry Smoot, man. Y'all put some respect on his name. Yes, sir. Now I got Box 86 TV say, Terence Crawford, who negotiated his top-ranked deal to get a guaranteed money, is now willing to consider a deal with no guaranteed money. Hey, but we've seen a history of Terence Crawford making concessions in order to get the fight with a Errol Spence Jr. though, knockout. And I'm gonna open up the panel too, so you know, you always welcome to come and chop it up. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen a consistent history of Terence Crawford making concessions in order to get the fight done. So honestly and truly, this aligns with what history has shown us, what Terence Crawford is willing to do in order to get the fight with Errol Spence Jr. Terence Crawford crossed the street. Errol Spence didn't leave PBC to get the fight with Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford left Top Rank to get the fight with Errol Spence Jr. That speaks volumes right there, knockout. Especially when you're the welterweight getting paid the most amount of money as a welterweight, right? A guy who can't sell, according to what a lot of you guys say. He's a guy that can't sell, but he's getting paid the most amount of money as a welterweight, right? Over there on Top Rank, but he leaves that promoter to cross the street to fight Errol Spence. This is a dude who clearly wants to fight. So I don't get why it's so hard to believe that Terence Crawford would take these kinds of concessions in order to make the fight happen. You leave your promoter that was paying you the bag. You get a belt. You wait 4 years on an easy route. You take a 35-65 split. And I haven't heard you talk about the 35-65 split either, knockout. I think you acknowledge that the 35-65 split is accurate. But he took a 35-65 split. The B-side on the rematch. Made all these concessions. This goes in line with everything that we've been seeing from Bud Crawford, making all the concessions in order to ensure that the fight happens. But let's keep it going. Knockout also says, two things that have never happened are now happening is what you want me to believe. Amen. There's a first time for everything, right? Ain't that what they say? Ain't that what they say? Just because if you a virgin, just because you ain't ever had sex before, don't mean you can't go on and have some sex, man. You know what I mean? It can happen. My guy GK Black says, facts, KD, only mediocre fights over there. Yeah, man. Big facts, bro. Mediocre fights, bro. They give us the fights they want to put on. They don't give us the fights that we want to see. We told Bob Arum we needed to see Valdez versus Stevenson. He put that motherfucker on. Granted, he probably had to get sued. He had to get sued by Bud Crawford in order to make it happen. But he put the fight on. All the fights that we want to see on Top Rank, Bob Arum makes the fights happen. But y'all telling me that Terence Crawford was on the wrong side of the street. Knockout Boxing says it. Y'all believe Coppinger if you want to. I choose not to. But the thing about it is, again, Knockout, it ain't just Coppinger. Bernie the Boxer reported the same thing. He's a part of Team Crawford. That in itself destroys the whole. If Bernie the Boxer's reporting it, He's a part of Team Crawford. He's the one that's saying the 35%, 65%. He's the one saying the B-side on a rematch. He's the one that's saying the no guarantee. It ain't just Coppinger. Coppinger is just one of the guys. Bernie the Boxer is reporting the same thing. You saying that Bernie the Boxer is lying? You saying that Bud Crawford is lying about this? Explain why they would lie about this. Truly Israel. Okay, you talking to somebody else over there. Okay. Now I got going to the 50-50 argument. He say, this is the Ugas 50-50 narrative all over again. Oh, my goodness gracious. First of all, this argument and that argument differs in a lot of ways. Even though Ugas did get 50-50 on as far as the pay-per-view is concerned, right? This is a lot different because Bernie the Boxer, which is incredible, a guy who's close to Team Crawford is reporting it, right? Blue Blood Sports TV, who is an Errol Spence fan, which I didn't mention earlier. Blue Blood Sports TV is an Errol Spence fan. This is not a guy who's been rocking with Bud Crawford this whole time. This is a guy who's been Team Errol Spence for the longest. So what reason does Blue Blood Sports TV have to report information like this? That's another thing you got to explain. What incentive does Blue Blood Sports TV have to report information like this? A guy that's been Team Earl for the entire career of his channel. That would be like you reporting this, Knockout. Nah, not like you. I ain't gonna put you in that same category, Knockout. My bad. I apologize for that. You don't do that. Blue Blood be clickbaiting and shit. But that would be like another known Errol Spence fan channel to report this information. Right? It's not, it doesn't help their fan base. It doesn't benefit them in any type of way. Joseph Bailey says, day after day, the longer the fight takes to make, the more proof that Bud will beat Spence easy. Oh yeah, man. He gonna beat Spence. He gonna stop Errol Spence. If they ever get in the ring, he gonna stop Errol Spence. Oh yeah, all day, every day. D-Ray Promotion say, stank up on his way to Dallas. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All day, every day. My guy D-Ray Promotions. Knockout Boxing 86 TV say, that deal is complete chess and no one would ever consider it, let alone accept it. Hey, but this is what we saying though. Nobody would accept this shit except a guy on a mission. Except a guy that's on his way to get the fight done. Right? The truth is going to reveal itself really soon, but honestly and truly, man, all the facts, all the details, everything is leaning in that direction. Everything is leaning in the direction that Terence Bud Crawford is taking an extreme low ball deal, right, in order to make this fight with Errol Spence Jr. But even after taking a deal like that, right, even after taking a deal like that, we still don't have an announcement for the fight. Ain't that funny, y'all? We still ain't got no announcement. Knockout Box 86 say, Blue Blood is being lied to, as is Coppinger. Who they being lied to by? Knockout says, Bernie has proven to be a capologist so many times. I like that term, capologist. So he the study of capping. Is that what it is? Bernie studies the study of capping. Oh my goodness gracious. Knockout, you crazy for that one, man. Hey, look, man, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Bernie the Boxer is a saint and he tells the truth all the time. I ain't gonna sit here and say that. I don't got enough information about his channel and about him to know anything along those lines. But my question to you is, if you're gonna say that Bernie the Boxer is lying, a guy that's clearly a part of Team Bud Crawford, a guy that's literally speaking on behalf of Bud Crawford, if you're gonna say that Bernie the Boxer and Bud Crawford are lying, then you have to explain what their incentive would be for lying. You got to explain that though, Knockout. You got to. You can't just say a guy is lying and what he got to lie for. For what reason? How does it help? How does it benefit these negotiations by him saying that he took a low ball deal. Like, where's the incentive at? You know what I mean? Now I got Boxing 86 TV say, I got my show in a few minutes, otherwise I would come up, bro. Keep doing your thing, homie. Salute to you, Knockout. Yeah, you do got a show coming up soon, man. Salute to you, fam. I might hop on your panel too, man. When I think you're doing a debate tonight. Hey, man, if y'all want to see a good debate, man, y'all be sure to pull up on my homie, Knockout Boxing 86 TV, man. He gonna be doing a debate tonight. I'm not sure what the debate is about tonight, but y'all be sure to pull up on him, man. It get some good boxing talk over there. All day, every day. My guy GK Black says, who from the PBC is credible? Facts, GK Black. Who from the PBC is credible? I'm just really trying to figure it out. Because we haven't heard nobody credible up until this point. As a matter of fact, all we've been getting is conflicting information when it comes to the representation of the PBC, right? In one breath, Errol Spence Jr., guys like Errol Spence Jr. will turn around and say that guys are on the other side of the street and that these fights can't happen because they're on the other side of the street. But in the same breath, we'll hear guys like Deontay Wilder. We'll hear guys like Tim Smith. We'll hear guys like, we'll hear other guys say that Al don't hold back their fighters from fights. We'll hear people say shit like, you can fight whoever it is you want to fight. Fuck it. Let me just play. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and just play it real quick. Fuck it. You'll hear Deontay Wilder say shit like,
we don't avoid anyone. Who I want, we're going to get. Al don't hold back his fighters on things. He may give his suggestion on this and that or whatever, but pretty much who we want, we're going to get.
So completely conflicting reports when it comes to guys on the PBC. Facts. My guy Soul Archeon says, I'm not familiar with Knockout. Is he trolling? Serious question. Nah, he ain't trolling, man, but he a serious Errol Spence fan, man. So he be going hard for Errol Spence. He a good dude, but he be going hard for Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? He might be trolling. Nah, he ain't trolling. He did a video about that earlier, asking the same question, whether or not it was questioning the validity of everything. You know what I mean? But you know, that's my guy though. He's an Errol Spence fan. He a diehard fan, but you know, it is what it is. My guy Mango Juice 07 in the motherfucking building. Salute to you, Mango Juice. What's going on with you, fam? It's like, what up, King David? Yes, sir. D-Ray Promotions. Let me see what you got on here, man. I don't know what emoji you got on there. Let me see what you got on there, D-Ray. I gotta go to the actual thing to see what you got up on there. You blowing your nose sick? You blowing your nose sick, bro? You okay? You okay, man? I hope you're good over there, man. My guy D-Ray Promotions. That's my guy right there. Okay, my guy GK Black in the building. He say, Bob got the WBO to break Porter off some more bread too. What has PBC done to secure a big fight? Oh, big facts. Big facts. You know, the last live that I did was, should Bud have stayed with Top Rank, right? And I understand that Top Rank got his fair share of problems. I get that there's some racial biases that exist on the Top Rank side of things. Look, there's going to be racial biases in everything. Period. Facts. There's going to be racial biases in everything. But if we're weighing the good with the bad, Top Rank has way more good to offer than the PBC has good to offer, right? If we had to weigh the good with the bad, there's way less reasons to sign with the PBC as opposed to Top Rank. There's way more reasons to sign with Top Rank. These are facts. Because if Bud Crawford was still over there on Top Rank, money wouldn't be no issue, y'all. Money wouldn't be a thing. We wouldn't be talking about no money issue. We wouldn't be talking about Bud Crawford getting no guarantee. You know why? Because Top Rank got the bag to be able to put up money for a fight like this. Top Rank would have made sure they did whatever needed to be done in order to make sure the fight happened. And it wouldn't have took 5 months to do it. It wouldn't have took a year to get it done. Because Top Rank could have paid Bud Crawford what he wanted to get paid. PBC could have paid Errol Spence what he wanted to get paid. And we would have got this fight. Right? But now that Top Rank is not in the picture, here we are dealing with the same issues that everybody said that we would have if Bud Crawford was still with Top Rank. Right? The fight is still hard to make. We still got an issue with money. There's still a strong possibility that we don't get this fight ever. Fuck this year, ever. There's still a strong possibility that that happens. So Bud Crawford left Top Rank for what reason, right? And I'm not, and again, just like I said last week, I'm not sitting here and saying that Bud Crawford should stay with Top Rank indefinitely. That's not what I'm saying. But Top Rank definitely would have been the better option over crossing the street and going to the PBC side, because we see that Errol Spence Jr., the PBC, when it comes to making fights, it's either incompetence, right? It's either one of the two things. It's either incompetence or fear, period. My guy Don Vaughn in the building. Salute to you, fam. He say salute. Yeah, man. Don Vaughn in the building. Okay, my guy D Young in the building. Salute to you, D Young. You say, what up, bro? Salute, bro. Yes, sir. We here in the building, man. We cooking up a storm out here on these boxing streets. My guy Bandale, he says, no guarantee. 35% makes sense. One, PBC doesn't really want to make the fight and risk losing the belts, and they are hoping Bud walks away too. Bud wants to fight by any means necessary. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bud wants to fight by any means necessary. How does that not make sense? PBC don't want the fight. And that's what my brother Knockout didn't want to admit. PBC don't want the fight. Or should I say Errol Spence Jr.? Because we're not doing the PBC thing as far as PBC. Errol Spence don't want to fight. PBC represents Errol Spence. So Errol Spence don't want to fight. D-Ray Promotions say flames. Yes, sir. We ain't here cooking. We here cooking with gasoline. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what I'm going to do here, man, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop the link. I've been talking for an hour and 22 minutes. I've been getting it all the way the fuck in. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop the link, man. So anybody that want to come on and cook, you can come on and cook. I'm going to continue to read some comments as I'm going. And I'm going to wrap up the original topic of the conversation and read the poll real quick too. So coming back real quick to what the moral of the story is. Should Bud Crawford move on? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because again, these negotiations continue to get more and more absurd. Bud Crawford is 35 years old, and it's time to get the fuck on. Point blank period. End of discussion, man. Let me read this poll. I got somebody that just done joined us. Okay, my guy Bo didn't understand. Give me 1 second, Bo. I'm gonna read this poll real quick. And then, yeah, I'm finna get with you. So the poll is, do you think that Bud Crawford should move on from Errol Spence Jr.? Right now, I got 47% of everybody that says, yes, he should move on. And now I got 53% of everybody that says, no, he should not move on. So that's what's going on out here on these boxing streets, man. So we done changed directions, you know what I mean? But that's the poll right now, man. Bolden understands, man. Welcome to the chat. I mean, welcome to the panel, man. What's going on with you, fam? And also, too, y'all be sure to subscribe to Bolden Understanders on YouTube, man. He got a good YouTube channel, man. But what's up, Bo? What's good with you?
Hey, what's up, King David, man? Just enjoying the video, man. You spitting a lot of facts, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. You know, somebody got to do it. It's a lot of Errol Spence fan channels, man. They do the opposite. A lot of propaganda exists on their channel. So, you know, we just try to balance out the energy, man. You know
yeah, a lot of them, they are in denial. You know, before it was, they said Crawford was on a slave contract and everything else. They was co-signing that narrative. They was also co-signing around the same time they were saying that. They co-signed that Spence was his own boss. Now that we starting to hear, you know, what's going on right now, these same fans are now saying, well, Errol Spence is not his own boss. That's Al Heyman. You gotta listen to Al Heyman. But before they was co-signing saying Errol Spence was his own boss. So it's like, which one is it? Like, they don't want to admit that their guy is actually ducking Terence Crawford, so they want to blame everybody else but Errol Spence, and that's the part that makes them sound more like hypocrites to me.
Oh man, excellent point, Bo. Man, absolutely, man. These dudes. Terence Crawford is dumb. He's holding up the fight. He's this. He's that. And then now you see them shifting the argument to PBC. That's why I don't. When these dudes like saying PBC, I don't even want to talk about the PBC because the PBC represents Errol Spence Jr. You know, and all they're really trying to do is deflect the attention off of Errol Spence when the attention belongs on Errol Spence. Just like Max Kellerman said earlier, on his channel, what he did, he said it sounds like a duck, which is what it is, bro. Absolutely, man. But let me ask you this, man. What was your answer to the question on the poll, man? Like, what do you think Bud Crawford should move on? What was your answer?
Oh yeah, I put yes. I mean, I kind of been done with this fight happening just about almost a year ago, pretty much. You know, I kept saying, I was like, this fight ain't gonna happen. They're gonna try to age Bud out, and they're gonna keep coming with all these excuses. So my hopes wasn't really high for this fight anymore. After a while, it was just like, I'm like, it's too much politics going on. Like, they should have just said they didn't want to fight Bud Crawford, because to me, it's just like they wasting Bud time, and Bud is wasting his own time. Keep trying to get the fight with Errol Spence. I mean, they don't want to fight him.
Do not want to fight him, man. Facts. So let me ask you this then, Bo. So like, if Bud does move on, what do you see him doing next? What would you want him to do next? And then what would you see him doing next?
I mean, I know he said he want to fight Charlo, but you know it's going to be politics up there too. But the only thing with the chance with that is that pending this, well, man, yeah, it's going to be politics with that too, because Charlo's fighting Tim Tszyu, so that's going to kind of satisfy the mandatory for the WBO right there. So, but yeah, I would just keep pushing for the big fights if I was Terence Crawford. You know, they said Boots is that guy. If he fight and beat Boots, he done beat up on Spence mandatory. If he fight any of the other top welterweights, he just going to keep doing his thing. And then, you know, we just let the Errol Spence fans be in denial until his career is over. And then when they look back, they'll probably finally admit, they'd be like, damn, man, Errol Spence should have fought Crawford.
Right. It would be so foolish for Errol Spence to get in the ring with Boots but not fight Bud Crawford. Like, if that would be it's like the walls are closing in on Errol Spence as far as like, bro, the only thing that's left for you are high risk, low reward fights. And I feel like that's the only reason why we even in negotiations to begin with, because of all these high risk, low reward fights that surround Errol Spence Jr. between Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz and Keith Thurman. And it's like, bro, although Bud Crawford is a tougher fight, it's also a high reward fight. So there's no reason for you to avoid this fight, knowing full and well that the other opportunities on your path are much more difficult and at the same time much less lucrative. So, you know, but I like your idea. It was a dude on earlier who was saying he was saying that Bud should just stay at 147, hold on to that belt, and look for those fights at 147, and just, you know, hey man, you got to come see me. At the end of the day, Errol Spence is gonna have to move to 154. I don't see him fighting Jermell Charlo, and for some reason, I don't see I'm not sure if Charlo plans on moving up or what the situation is gonna be with him. You know, if Errol Spence moves up, but if Bud could always move up right behind Errol Spence. Like, he could literally corner him at 154 in the next weight division. So, you know, but hopefully he's not 36, 37 by the time that happens. But one other point that I want to mention too is, you mentioned politics at 154, but at the end of the day, I ain't trying to hear nothing about no politics, because you got guys like Wilder saying,
I'm in the business of making money. Of course, hold back his fighters. We're going to get. Al don't hold back his fighters on things. He may give his suggestion on this and that or whatever, but what pretty much who we want, we're going to get. So
I don't even want to hear nothing about no politics from Jamal, or Jamel, should I say.
But I think all those guys on the PBC do politics, including Wilder. Like he had so many offers to fight Anthony Joshua, and he never taken it. And then all of a sudden, recently, it came out that his own manager said, "Oh yeah, yeah, we have been receiving offers from Eddie Hearn and stuff like that." So a lot of these guys, I don't know if the PBC probably telling them who they can and cannot fight. But you know what's so funny about it? A lot of some of our folks be on the PBC like, yeah, black man. But you know who's getting the biggest fights? Ain't even a black person on there. I mean, Wilder's probably only one, but Caleb Plant got a big ass fight. That motherfucker wasn't worth shit, and he got a Canelo fight.
Right.
Fucking Andy Ruiz wasn't worth shit, and he got a Joshua fight twice. So to me, it's like when people be like, "Oh yeah, the brother man," I'm like, it seems like everybody else ain't a brother getting those big fights and shit. So I don't know what the deal. I don't know what the deal is.
Damn, big facts. You ain't lying about that, man. If anything, PBC seem to be anti-black, if anything, because of all the black fighters that they have on their stable, they seem to be directing them in the opposite direction of the most successful route. Like you said with AJ and Wilder, but also too, like with Andrade and Charlo. Like Andrade offered Charlo a $7 million deal. Like that's the most amount of money Jamal Charlo has made in his career. Like, what reason would he have to turn down a unification fight for $7 million for Demetrius Andrade? You know, like PBC seems to be the organization responsible for fights not happening rather than fights happening.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on with it. It's crazy. And then I'm hearing like the PBC, they got so many fighters on that roster that the matches that they're scheduling, everything is backed up because for one, they seem not to have the financial backing they used to have, and it just got too many people on that roster, so it's kind of hard for them to pretty much schedule fights on time, pretty much.
But that's who y'all want Bud Crawford to sign to, right? That's who y'all want all these fighters to sign to, PBC. But just like Bo said, they got too many fighters on their roster and they ain't got dates. They ain't got dates for all their fighters. And the fighters that they do have, the big name fighters, they get them guys none of the big fights. Like as far as I'm concerned, Jamal Charlo has yet to get a Canelo fight or a Triple G fight. Right? But this is supposed to be the organization that everybody's supposed to sign with. And I just don't get when people say that shit. I really honestly and truly don't. You know? So let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this. Because you saw the tweet from Errol Spence earlier. Let me put up the tweet from Errol Spence. I know you seen that shit. So I want to get your opinion on it. All right, let me put it up here back on the screen. Errol Spence tweeted this shit earlier. Right? First thing he addressed it was to Keyshawn Davies. Right? I don't need to lie. I don't throw shade like your little cheerleader ass going to be heartbroken when I put that boy dick in the dirt. At Keyshawn Davies. And then he also tweeted, this shit is happening next. All you need to know. All right. So what do you make of that? What's your opinions on that? Like, break that down for me.
It seems like Errol Spencer's got smoke for everybody but Bud. And then, you know, that first tweet he put, I mean, almost kind of sound homo shit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, talk about dicks and shit, putting dicks in the door. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, he I don't get it. Like everybody else that's trying to like when Bud addresses the situation, Errol don't say anything. But then when anybody else says something about it, all of a sudden he got all the tweets in the world and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if this is part of the PBC plan. Maybe he tweeted that out to buy some time because people keep cooking his ass, whatever. But I don't understand, man. This shit is crazy.
Speaking of cooking his ass, man, I cooked his ass too on Twitter when I seen this shit. I'm like, he said the shit is happening is next is all you need to know. I'm like, next what? Next year? Like next decade? Like next lifetime? Like, bro, the shit is so just ambiguous. You know what I'm saying? Like the fight is happening next. Okay, next when? You know, and then what fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. I mean, we can jump to the conclusion and say, okay, he's talking about Bud Crawford, but this is the type of shit that gives Errol Spence fans a leg to stand on when we bring shit like this up, and we're like, yo, Errol Spence said the fight was happening next, and then the fight didn't happen, and these niggas want to go on the offensive and say Errol Spence never said Bud Crawford was happening next, you know? So that's why I can't stand little tweets like this from Errol Spence, like at Terence Crawford, say his name, you know? Talk about what fight you fighting next. Like, we ain't trying to hear all this vague shit, bro. Like, get to the point, you know? But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That shit was crazy. And then I saw like somebody put a picture of a meme with both of them, him and Bud, looking old as hell and shit.
Yeah, I say that shit too. Yeah, man. I mean, that's pretty much what we got going on here, man. Like, this fight ain't happening. It don't seem like this fight is happening this decade. You know, we just been waiting too long, 4.5 years. Like, how much longer do we really gotta wait? And honestly and truly, like, as soon as Bud left Top Rank, they should have started negotiating at that point a year ago. You mean it takes a whole year to negotiate a fight like this?
Yeah, that's crazy. They, like I said, man, I had a video I put out a while back. I kept saying it. I said, what's that? No Bud Crawford.
Right.
I know how they are. Like they don't want that smoke, man. It just it's crazy, you know. I don't understand how Errol Spence was able to get away with ducking this damn long, and a lot of his fans are still in denial. And it kind of makes me wonder too. I'm like, let's just say, because there are certain channels, right? They love to critic, like they like to play racial narratives, right? When it comes to certain guys, right? But then when it comes to Errol Spence, they quiet. They don't say shit. Imagine if Errol Spence was a Mexican with the same attitude he's doing right now. He'd have got destroyed by everybody online. But because Errol Spence be giving some of these guys interviews and shit, they all remain silent. They don't want to talk about it. They look at a tweet like what Errol Spence put out today and be like, oh, see, Errol Spence say he's like this fight is coming up next. You know, they'll say that. But the whole time, while this 4 years done went by, they just made up excuses and shit. But if Errol Spence wasn't black, man, these dudes would have lit his ass up. They'd be like, oh, he ducking. Like look how some of these channels lit up Oscar Valdez for ducking Shakur Stevenson. Oscar Valdez, Terence Crawford was chasing Errol Spence way before Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson was ever thought about. And Oscar Valdez got murdered online for ducking Shakur Stevenson. But some of these guys, they don't say shit when it comes to Errol Spence ducking Terence Crawford. This whole time, they don't say shit. And I'm like, man, to me, a duck is a duck. You know what I'm saying? Like Max Kellerman said, a duck is a duck. You know, the man been ducking Terence Crawford for all of these years, and we heard nothing but excuses from the Errol Spence side of things. And that's what makes me upset, is that some of these channels that get interviewed with Errol Spence, they just quiet. And that's why I'm mad with them.
Well, shit, you don't even gotta go to Oscar Valdez. You ain't even gotta go to anybody else. Let's just go to Keith Thurman. I mean, Keith Thurman literally did all the same things that Errol Spence is doing right now. As a matter of fact, he did way less, right? But Keith Thurman it's a matter of these dudes just being fanboys, right? These dudes, most of them are from Texas. They all Cowboys fans. Like it's a matter of them just being fanboys and just being ridiculously biased. Because Keith Thurman did the same things that Errol Spence is doing. He had to get his get back here, right? That's the stuff that Keith Thurman was saying. Keith Thurman was like, He got to get his get back. He want to fight this person and that person first. He pretty much said the easy route without saying the easy route. But these dudes flame Keith Thurman for years for ducking Errol Spence Jr. Even though Errol Spence was a prospect at the time, basically, when he was calling out Keith Thurman. Errol Spence was literally a nobody, a dude that hadn't fought nobody at all at the time he was calling out Keith Thurman. But these dudes want to say that Keith Thurman was ducking Errol Spence at that time, but they don't want to admit that Bud Crawford or that Errol Spence is ducking Bud Crawford. But Keith Thurman was ducking Errol Spence.
Yeah, you're right about that too. And some of those same fans, like you said, all those guys are like Cowboys fans and everything. They flamed Timothy Bradley and said Timothy Bradley used the other side of the street excuse.
Right. Right.
And they flamed Timothy Bradley for that, but they won't even flame Errol Spence when he literally said the other side of the street.
Right. Yeah, these dudes are crazy with their explanations, bro. The shit don't make no sense. You get on Keith Thurman for ducking Errol Spence Jr., a prospect at the time, but Bud Crawford, Errol Spence says the same thing to Bud Crawford, who at the time was an undisputed champion coming up to 140 pounds, right? A 2-weight division champion, soon to be 3-weight division champion at the time. Errol Spence does that to Bud Crawford, but then that's not ducking. But Keith Thurman ducked Errol Spence Jr. So y'all dudes got to make it make sense. That shit don't make no sense at all. You know? Some of these dudes, like I said, like I think it was a dude earlier, I forget who it was. He said, you can't reason with Errol Spence fans. I'm like, nah, you really can't, bro. You just got to make them look silly with their arguments. They still not going to believe. They delusional to the point where they're not going to believe you regardless. Like you could, I believe Errol Spence can jump on this motherfucker right now. He could jump on here right now, FaceTime, facing everything, right? Put his social out there. Errol Spence, social security number, 123456. Here go my thumbprint. Do the little thumb scan. Do the little eye retina scan, right? So much to the point, everybody's verified that it's Errol Spence. He can come on here and say, I am ducking Terence Crawford. I'm ducking him. And I believe there would still be these Errol Spence fans that would deny the shit out of it.
Hell yeah.
I promise you, bro. I promise you. There are dudes that they would come up with the weirdest shit ever. How do we know that was Errol Spence? It could have been a doppelganger. Right?
Yeah, they would have blamed Derrick James and shit. They'd be like, oh, that was Derrick James saying that shit. Or they'd be like, yo, Errol Spence was just he was just trolling, man. He ain't mean that shit.
Right. He was trolling. He was drunk that night. You know Earl liked to drink. He was drunk that night, man. You can't take him seriously when he's drinking. What? Like, bro, that's how delirious a lot of these people are, bro.
Shit,
like,
they'd have blamed Errol Spence baby moms and shit.
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, she hacked into his account.
Right. They hacked his account and put his face up there. Like, that's how crazy these dudes is, man. Come up with all kind of BS bullshit art, the narratives as to why that wasn't Errol Spence and how he was under the influence and how he didn't really say it and he didn't really mean it like that. Like he didn't mean ducking in that sense. He meant ducking as far as like he don't want his phone number, because remember Bud was like, save his phone. He didn't want his phone number. Like, they would come up with shit like that, bro. I really believe that shit. These dudes are crazy. Hey, man, if we got people new joining us in the building, man, y'all be sure to hit that like button one time for your boy, man. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody hit that like button, man, on your way in. And if you're only stopping by for a few minutes, hit it on the way out. And also do me a favor and be sure to go to my guy Bold and Understand this channel and be sure to hit my guy like button over there too, man. He got a real good boxing channel over there. He need to post a little bit more often. He kind of like me, but he got a good boxing channel over there. You just like me though, bro, with your content, man. You just kind of post like when you got time and shit, you know?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I want to do a video on because I've been hearing a lot of people lately saying that Canelo. I mean, I've been hearing this a lot, you know, even back in the past. Canelo wanted to fight Andrade.
Oh my God!
And or he was trying to fight Andrade or whatever. And the only thing that got me, because I was saying like he could have fought Andre for undisputed. But then I realized something because I found 2 articles that's gonna debunk that whole Canelo wanted to fight Andre narrative. And one, there was an article that said he was considering fighting Andre. Canelo had already been to the WBC franchise, so it wouldn't even been for undisputed anyway. And 2, I'm gonna prove that he never wanted to fight Andre to begin with because they try to say the IBF stripped him, but the IBF was already saying that they have a rule that says unification trumps mandatory, but you have to make that request. You got to put in for that request before they actually send out the mandatory. And if you don't meet that deadline, then unification can't trump mandatory. And then not only that, Canelo was already in negotiations with Derevchenko at to begin with. They done postponed the purse bid like twice. So it's going to debunk that whole narrative that people use, and they say, "Oh, Canelo was going to fight Andre." Like, no, he wasn't, because he could afford him, regardless if the IBL stripped him or not.
Yeah, these dudes are crazy when it comes to that, bro. Like, yeah, he showed up. He petitioned to fight Andre, knowing full well that the time had been run out for the IBF, and knowing and in negotiation for the Kovalev fight when he was getting ready to move up. Like, yeah, bro. Like, these dudes are crazy, man. For real, for real. Let me read some comments real quick, man. Let me see what y'all talking about out here on these streets, man. My guy Bendale says, no guarantee and 35% makes. I think I already read that, actually. Okay, I did read that. GK Black said, so Tim Smith is credible when he says economics is the problem, but they got money for Canelo. They just don't want to spend money on Bud because he's not Mexican and he will beat Spence. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Matter of fact, that is like a 100% fact right there.
Oh yeah. These are big facts, man. I got some real boxing fans on my channel, man. I really love my supporters on this channel, bro, because y'all be coming with the facts. Even certain shit that I be missing, y'all be coming with it, bro. So I love my subscribers, bro. For real. My guy Don Vaughn says, Bud taking this low ball means this ish is personal. Yeah, man. I mean, he literally like, hey man, I'll fight this dude for an airplane ticket. You know what I'm saying? And a double cheeseburger. That's literally how Bud feeling, man. Because honestly and truly, man, to even consider taking 35%, knowing that Danny Garcia got 40%, it goes well beyond business for Bud to accept some shit like that. No guarantee, like B-side on the back end, like, nah, bro. All this shit is absurd to the fourth power, man. For real. My guy Truly Israel says, King David, net gross 35%, and you are your own promoter. Sounds good, especially if the fight generates $100 million. And that's why Crawford wants transparency. Absolutely. I mean, it's good, but honestly, if you're generating $100 million, you got to think as Bud Crawford, you're half of that $100 million, because the only reason why I would generate that much money is because your name is tied to it. So like even 35% is ridiculous. When Danny Garcia gets 40%, it's hard for you to justify trying to give somebody with a bigger name and more accolades like Bud Crawford less than what Danny Garcia got. So that's where that argument always runs into a wall. And then you throw in the no guarantee and you throw in the B-side on, like, come on, bro. Like, it's crazy all the way across the board. But salute to you, truly, Israel. My guy QT says, I don't know at this point been made, but Ward versus Kovalev 2, Kovalev was given net revenue deal, no guarantee after arguably beat Ward in the first fight. If you high risk, you getting a bad deal. That's a good point, though, QT. That's a good point. I would say Ward won that fight, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't think he.
You talking about that first one?
Yeah, Ward Kovalev first. The first one.
I actually had Kovalev winning that fight.
I had Ward winning that one fight, though.
I mean, I know Ward was coming on late, but I thought Kovalev edged him out.
Yeah, but that wasn't that a split decision though. Like that card, it was a close fight though, right?
Was it? I thought it was a unanimous.
Was it unanimous? Well, it could have been unanimous, but I had Ward winning that fight though.
Yeah, I just thought the knockdown made the difference in that fight. And Ward did come on late, but the one thing he did when he came on late, he took that same strategy, and he continued it into the second fight. And he definitely, of course, he won that second fight. But yeah, I had Kovalev winning that first fight though.
You damn sure right, QT, about a high risk person taking a bad deal, because that's exactly what this is. I mean, we've seen the same thing with Devin Haney with the deal that he took with Kambosos, and Earl Kambosos Jr. is coming back with a similar deal, But my thing is, if what a lot of his fans claim that he's gonna crush Bud Crawford and that he's gonna stop him, and Errol Spence is too much for him, and Errol Spence is saying all this and all that. Like, why does it require all that in order to get somebody in the ring? You know what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts on it. QT says, so it's unbelievable that they would offer a deal that bad. That's just straight. He turned it down. Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Bandale says, if Bud didn't fight Earl next, then he's fighting Josh Taylor. That's a possibility. I wouldn't mind watching that fight.
Josh Taylor got a fight coming up at 140,
which he might lose. which he might lose. But I mean, if Bud Crawford, if he managed to squeak by Catterall and Josh Taylor wanted to move up to 147 for a Bud fight, I wouldn't mind watching that. Like my guy was saying earlier, if Errol Spence don't want to fight, then he can stick around at 147 and just look for the biggest fights at 147. Look for the Josh Taylors and the Virgil Ortiz.
But if he fight Josh Taylor, all these Spence fanatics gonna be like, oh, Bud fighting junior welterweights. He fighting junior welterweight. You know how they are, because they did it before when it was rumored for him to fight Josh Taylor before. You had the dude Bossa Ego talking about, oh, he fighting lightweights. He's trying to fight lightweights. And I'm sitting up when he made that video, I'm sitting up here and I'm like, dude, like Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia. Like, you can't get no lighter than that,
Right, absolutely. Yeah, you 100% right. But we know these Errol Spence fans are gonna talk shit regardless. So it is, it is what it is. At the end of the day, like you, if this fight doesn't happen, there's just no denying that Errol Spence Jr. ducked Terence Crawford. It's just like there's no way you could. I mean, these dudes are gonna try to spin it. I mean, we know what it is, but like the proof is in the pudding. Like Max Kellerman went on national TV and said, that sounds like a duck. I think that's gonna resonate in the ears of a lot of boxing fans, and and make a real big splash, man. But let me pause with the comments, man. And we got somebody new that done pulled up on the panel. My guy Lightspeed. What's going on with you, Lightspeed, man? Long time no hear from. How you been, bro?
What's up, Lightspeed?
King David. Hey, what up? How are you?
Chilling.
You can hear me? I hope my coverage is good. I'm in the car.
I hear you good. I hear you loud and clear. You hear him over there, Bo?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, we hear you, Lightspeed.
What's going on, Bo? What's going on, King David? How y'all doing?
Oh, man. Chilling, man. Chilling, man. What's on your mind, Lightspeed? What's up with you?
Yeah, man. In regards to this fight, I'm feeling everything y'all saying, man. Y'all's cooking. So mostly I'm just listening. But if there's anything I would say about this fight, man, and I feel like it's a sad day for boxing, man. But I'm definitely moving on from that fight, man. And now it's like, because once I get to a certain point, as a fan, as a person, whatever, you know how when it's like somebody's pulling your chain, man, and you feel like it's almost like they're wasting your time. That's almost how I feel with this fight. Like at this point, it's like even if it do happen, I've already moved past the point where it's like, I won't lie, I'll watch it, but man, I just can't even get myself to any level of excitement because it's been so many circus acts going on with this fight for years. Just for years, it's just like, wow, man, like it's unbelievable actually. And then so hearing people are gonna defend it, and hearing people already defending it, and trying to make new narratives like, this is all because Crawford was doing business with, I'm probably gonna say the name wrong. Is it Callahan?
Daniel Kinahan, yep.
Kinahan. At this point, I realize, and I mean, I guess I always knew this, but now I really know it. Like, they will invent any narrative. They'll reach for something else. Like, there's really, it's unbelievable. There's actually really no limit to what they would say, bro. I just can't be that creative. Like, so for me, man, I just learned a lesson, man. I just gotta ignore all the fanboys, all the, you know, all the fanatics, not just, you know, aerosexuals and all that. It's just that whole fanatic energy, that whole PBC energy. I'm just, man, I gotta treat them like ignorant females, man. I can't even engage it. It's like, it's just unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable that, like, I mean, just, all right, so we're talking about the offers that the deal that was given to Crawford. It's so bad that it is hard to believe that that's real. You start to think like, damn, well, maybe are they making it up? Like, damn, 30, 60, 65, 35, like B-side, even if he wins. I mean, not knowing the budget, like, it's like almost the biggest slap in the face I've ever heard of. And so it kind of does make you think it's not real. But then you just think, like, if that is real, and here's my thing about people saying, oh, all this stuff is made up. If it's so made up, I haven't heard PBC, Spence, anybody say anything about it or address it. And if it is fake, then you would think they would address something that big, right?
Oh, you would think so. I mean, we heard Errol Spence today address Keyshawn Davis, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's Clown City. Like, it's just Clown City. Like, and it's one of those things when you look around the room, it's like, yo, does anybody else see this? And then like, at the same time, people defending Spence, saying, oh, it's not Spence, it's not Spence. But it's like, bro, look, okay, maybe PBC got the muzzle on you and you can't talk about nothing. Then if that's the case, then don't speak at all. Don't say nothing to Keyshawn. Because how bad do you look? Like I want to see him go on hot boxing. I want to see, like, somebody please invite him to Spence to hot boxing and let Mike talk to him. Please
say his name. Say his name. Oh man.
God, like, all the energy and time spent on that, it's just amazing. So nah, I've seen enough from PBC. I've seen enough from Spence fans. As a boxing fan, there's a lot of things I can appreciate about Spence skills, but I do, you know, I don't think I'm alone in this. When I look to fighters, you know what I mean? I like skills, but also I like character. You know, there has to be something about that fighter that I respect. Man, and now at every angle, I don't have no defenses for Spence. There's nothing I can say that makes me feel like, you know, I want to respect his character as a boxer. I mean, skills, I respect. Coming back from the accident, there's a lot of things I respect about him, but this whole thing has him and that whole circus. They all look like clowns to me. Like they all just look like clowns to me, like PBC and all them. Like they like egg on the face of boxing to me. So yeah, that's just where I am. Like, yeah, man. Sad enough, I got to move on from that.
Yeah, that's why I like that intro you always put with Errol Spence at the beginning, and then you be like, "Stop the cat." Yo, that
right.
That shit be funny, man, because you know my man was like, he said, "I was just joking. Ain't nobody gonna take that amount," but yet. You know what I'm saying? They try to offer Terence Crawford 35%.
He doing something else, bro. I'm telling you.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Cap.
He ain't saying nothing about it. Like, but then he's just quiet. Like,
he quiet, but he talking to Keyshawn. he talking to Keyshawn Davis. And also too, you didn't see, like, he said also too, and let me get your opinion on this though too. Light speed. He said, and I had it up earlier. Let me just put it up again, but I still have it up. Oh, here you go, right here. He also said, all you need to know, he said, shit is happening next. All you need to know. So what your thoughts is on that?
I just agree with what you were saying earlier. Like, when you said, and you kind of drew it out more when you said, like, he's always been cryptic, and it's like, yeah, this ain't the time for that. You know what I mean? to anyone who's really, looking at this, maybe he don't know how he looks, but I think to respectable boxing fans, my thing is this: I thought at some point, this is where it became unbelievable to me. I thought at some point, Spence fans would get frustrated. I kid you not. I thought at some point, even they would be like, all right, stop the cap. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Make the fight happen. They just, like, hearing the next narrative, and then hearing motherfuckers defending all this crazy shit. It's like, there's nothing else to say because I don't argue with crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. You can't, not too long. You know what I mean? Not too long. I might engage it. Like, okay, that's what we doing. We still okay. Nah, I can't keep engaging that. So, how many? That's what I'm saying. It's at the point where it is. I don't even want to make points anymore because it's like a landslide when you think of how silly the whole thing looks, and all the arguments. If you really look at how Spence looks, first off, you're talking about strap season. Like that was the main. That was your damn slogan for your whole boxing campaign. Like, you've been saying strap season for years.
Shit, Mike. With all those, without even, I said with all those suspect lines he be putting out, he might have been talking about a different type of strap.
Damn.
Man, look. Hopefully, at least that will make it make sense, right? How are you talking strap season all these years, and then without even telling your fans it's a different plan, it's not strap season anymore? And you don't even address it? Oh, and then what was that? Wasn't there that one comment where he said, "Oh, it ain't all about belts" or something wild like that?
Yep. 100%.
Oh yeah, he said his kids don't eat off of belts or some
kids
shit.
Don't eat. Kids don't eat belts. But it's strap season.
Yeah. That's like watching the vendors and then Thanos get he got one more ring. He like, you know what?
Here go right here.
It ain't all about. Wait, is that Thanos? That's not Thanos, is it? Yeah, it is.
Here go right here, Lightspeed. My kids don't eat belts, but it's strap season. But I fight Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia with no strap. Like, this dude is just full of contradictions, bro. Full of them.
Right. And
wow.
Then okay, what did he say? Jeff Horn got a belt. Fight Jeff Horn. Why don't I go the easy route? It's just that everything from the beginning to all the way to now has not made sense. People defended it and made every argument, and people was patient with all that. And at this point, there's just nothing left to defend. Like, what can you even say? That's why, I don't have any more points, bro. If someone really got a defense for that, all I could kind of do is listen and maybe ask some questions, and just get my popcorn and laugh. Like
Right. Hey, you funny as hell, Lightspeed. Hey, man, few announcements real quick, man. We doing sponsors here on the channel, man. So I just want to before that, actually, if y'all pay attention to the ticker below, man, I got my social media and everything on there, man. Y'all be sure to in addition to being subscribed to the channel, y'all be sure to follow me on Facebook. I'm gonna start posting on Facebook more often. The Facebook plug is at box-or-die. Twitter, I'm also on Twitter. Y'all be sure to follow me on Twitter. Box X or X die. Y'all be sure to do that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to get active on Twitter again, man. And also too, man, I made the sponsor of this particular live Truly Israel from now on. The highest super chat. Whoever donates to the channel with the highest super chat, we're making them the sponsor of the live tonight, man. So we're gonna continue to shout out Truly Israel on the channel for the $9.99 super chat, man. You know what I mean? Anything that helps the channel grow, man, is greatly appreciated. So with that said, let me go ahead and read a little bit of the comments, and then we're gonna get back to Lightspeed real quick. My guy, best videos, man. He said, "Hey, King David, salute to your best videos." He said, "Been calling knockout 86, and he been ducking like like Errol Spence. Oh man, my God, Knockout been ducking you best videos. Oh Lord. Damn, bro. I'm gonna have to go holler at him and let him know he been ducking. You know what I'm saying? That don't sound like my guy though. I ain't gonna lie to you. That don't sound like Knockout. He don't really duck smoke like that, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna make sure I let him know that you said he ducking, man, and you know he gonna have to pay attention to that first and foremost, man. But yeah,
He said, sign the contract, baby boy. Sign the contract.
sign the contract. Facts, man. Also, too, man, let me remind y'all, bro, we got a segment up here called Head Up, bro. Like that's in effect for every live. So let me just remind y'all. Head Up is if you don't like what I'm saying, you don't like what anybody on the panel is saying, you can immediately challenge them to an immediate debate immediately on the channel. And it's just you and that person, and y'all go head up on the channel. So that is still in effect. So if you're an Errol Spence fan and you don't like what anybody is saying on the panel, you're more than welcome to come up here and we'll give you your fair shake. And you can go ahead and challenge whoever you want to challenge to the head up. You pick a topic and we'll get it in. You know what I mean? So that's that. You know what I mean? But let me read a few more of these comments and then we're gonna go back to you, Lightspeed and Bold, and we're gonna keep cooking on the panel here. My guy Juice Lee in the building, he say facts, QT. Okay, he also saying Danny got 40% as a mandatory. Unbelievable. Earl is a duck. Facts. Absolutely got 40%, man. GK Black say Ward won a UD, but it was close. Kovalev faded down the stretch, but it could have been a draw, to be honest. Yeah, I know I had Ward winning that fight, for sure, but it definitely was a close fight. But yeah, Kovalev definitely took an L on that rematch, 100%. 100%, he definitely took an L on that. My guy Juice Lee say, if he took 35%, it means the initial offer had to be 20%. They don't want their built-up star to get punched out if commission. Yeah, man, punched out of commission. Yeah, man. I mean, I said that earlier, bro. If they've been negotiating for a year, and the best offer that they got on the table is 35% with no guarantee and a B-side on a rematch, that's the best y'all got after a year of negotiating. That means the initial offer had to be something horrible. The initial offer had to be like I said earlier, like a $50 Visa gift card or something. It had to be something crazy in order for to negotiate yourself up to 35%. Like for real. So Archeon says that sound like a duck. Max Kellerman was fed up. Absolutely, man. We all fed up, bro. Max Kellerman said what we all was thinking. That's all he did. He said what we were all thinking. QT say facts. Max tired of it. Absolutely. G Parker say salute to the host in the chat. Salute to you, G Parker, one of my day one subscribers here in the building, man. Salute to you, G Parker. Appreciate you for coming on through. My guy GK Black. He says his fanboys are childish. That's why I don't pay attention to them. Yeah, bro. It's good to not pay attention to them, but them niggas is everywhere, bro. They everywhere. You turn on YouTube, you just bound to see some dumb shit from one of these dudes. You know what I mean? Posting all kind of dumb shit. My guy Truly Israel, the sponsor of the show, says thanks, King. Appreciate you, Truly Israel, once again for the $9.99 super chat, man. We appreciate all contributions on this channel, man, and I appreciate you for doing what you did, bro. The sponsor of the live here. My guy Jamal Neezy, he say, what up, bro? EJ is a duck. Yes, he is. Jamal Neezy also says duck season. Duck season. 155%, man. Errol Spence is indeed a duck. And that's all there is to it, man. But back to y'all, man. So, Lightspeed, I'm going to ask you like I asked Bold. If Bud does move on from Errol Spence, what would you want him to do, and what do you think he does do if he moves on from Errol Spence? You there, Lightspeed? Oh, there you go.
I am there. I am here. Hold on. Yep. If he moves on, which I think he will, I mean, really, I would want to see him fight Charlo, but again, that's a PBC fighter, so I wouldn't even, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even anticipate that. I wouldn't even give that no attention. I could see him, fighting. I mean, Yeah, Virgil Ortiz or Boots. I can see him fighting Josh Taylor. I don't know if I'll really be excited about anything with him except, I mean, there's a lot with Bud. I think he could retire. The only thing I really see is maybe a Boots fight. But even then, I'm not, because there's so many dynamics in that. I'm still not really excited for a Bud Boots fight. And that's just because I haven't really seen much of Boots yet. You know, there's that eye test thing. But I've been checked on my eye test and just been looking twice at what I think about eye test. And yeah, no, he got a lot of, Boots has a lot of credible skills and he's like super talented. But I'm not super excited about that fight. So yeah.
But it's so crazy.
I mean,
if he beats Boots, he done beat up Spence Mandatory and shit.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. And then if he does, I mean, I feel like with Crawford, I mean, I feel like, especially for me, I don't losses aren't the biggest thing to me. So my favorite fighter could lose because it's already happened plenty of times in life. So I don't think like it can't happen with Crawford that he can't lose. But he has, for me, he's done enough.
Facts. He's definitely done enough, man. 100%, man.
Yeah, there's only like a few fighters that I guess I'll be excited to see him fight at this point. And then, yeah, my thing, like, the what do you call it? I was gonna say the star on the tree or whatever you want to call it was to see Spence and him fight. Like that was, you know what I mean? It's hard to even look at other fights after that. Like it's too soon is what I'm trying to say. It's too soon. I can't even.
Why is everybody? Why this man hold up his career for 5 years? 5 years to appease these bitch ass fans. Man, you gotta fight Spence. You gotta fight Spence, man. Your shit ain't shit.
Hold on, AB. Hold on. Let me bring your own property. Let me bring your own property.
AB came in hot.
Yeah, he came in hot. Let me bring him on properly. Okay, my guy AB to join us on the chat. Go ahead, AB, man. Tell us what's on your mind, bro.
First of all, salute to the panel. Salute to you, King David. How y'all G's doing today?
Hey, what's up, man? We here for the show. I got my popcorn, man.
I just got the little boxing gym myself, so I caught a couple hands. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm kind of amped. I ain't gonna say I'm amped. I'm like I told you, King Dave. The fight is never going to happen. I feel bad for Terence Bud Crawford because he did everything that these bitch ass fans wanted, that the bitch ass fighters wanted, that the whole world wanted him to do. He left the dude that helped him get all these titles, the dude that helped him become a name and a millionaire. He left that company just to appease this buster so he can get a fight. He took less than Mikey, Danny, Sean, whoever. This dude in the fight took less than all them dudes. And he still can't get a fight. Because Al Heyman trying to cook the book. I know y'all saw that quote Michael Buffer had. I know you saw that thing Michael Buffer posted in it.
Nah, I ain't good. What he say?
Well, Michael Buffer posted something. It's not verbatim, but it's something like this. Where like he saw a fighter that had a fight, and like in the payment, well, in the fees that he had to pay, they charged him for a soda machine that was in the gym. Now at the time, the soda machine was at the time anybody could get a soda. The soda machine was free. They said folks getting sodas left and right. But when it came out to be, that shit came out to be like $10,000 or $20,000 out his budget for a damn soda machine that was free. That was set up in
a soda machine.
Go find that shit. I know it's not verbatim, but it's something to that extent. When Michael Buffer said they had put a soda machine in this dude camp, and everybody in the camp was getting sodas, and they said nothing. But when it was time to pay the dude, they gave him to say, "Hey, bro, this your bill." And that damn soda machine with them sodas was on that motherfucker, and they charged him $10 a soda.
God damn.
That's what I'm saying. So when Bud Crawford say, "All right, I need transparency to see how you allocating these funds, what I'm getting charged for," and them folks like, "Nah, we can't even do that." See, first of all, I gotta take 35%. Less than I ever took. And you mean to tell me you might charge me $1,000 for some bottled water that you deliver to me, and I don't even know. And I ain't gonna even find out until after the fucking fight. That's if it happens. And then if it happens, I whoop his ass, and you charging all this shit, I gotta do this shit all over again.
Damn. Let's read the tweet. Because I done pulled the tweet up. So let's just read it real quick. Yeah, I got it up right here. Here it go right here. Michael Buffer reads, he says, thanks at Max Kellerman and Mike. I've seen some of those expenses for fights. And one classic was a soda machine in 2 months training camp where it was open to all. Help yourself. Then the sodas at $10 per can were logged all as expenses to a certain fighter's camp. It was a few grand. A few grand
for a soda machine.
For a soda machine.
That was open to everybody.
And I said this a little bit earlier, but I think people thought I was joking. Like, when you talking about overhead expenses, you can write almost anything off as an expense when it comes to an event. Like, an expense could be t-shirts for everybody in the crowd. The expense could be a stick of gum that you charge $50 for a piece of gum. Like, it literally could be some shit like that. And you can write it off as an expense.
Yeah. I brought you brand new towels. They free.
Right.
But then I got you an expense report. So when he asked for transparency and then folks were like, man, Bud doing what? They mean to tell me I gotta take this bullshit offer, and then on top of the bullshit offer, you gonna find ways to cut my money on top of that? And I gotta be cool with that? But like I said before, this fight was never supposed to happen anyway. These are the moves he wasn't supposed to make. I mean, he wasn't supposed to accept. He wasn't acceptable.
Right.
They were like they never thought he was gonna leave Bob Arum. Then after he left Bob, they're like, okay, we'll take this bullshit country. Anything you gonna take 35%? He said, I take it. My bad, take that back. They say he negotiated up to 35%. So
AB, I just gotta correct you on one thing. They was hoping that he wouldn't leave Bob Arum, because now that he left, that shit don't put the pressure on their ass and shit.
That's what I'm saying. They never thought he was gonna do that shit. That's why they said the other side of the street shit. And he said, okay, cool. I'll leave that side of the street. I'll come over here where you at. They were like, damn. And then that's when they took the bullshit off out. And he was like, all right, I'll take that bullshit off. But they were like, damn. You ain't gonna get money. I don't want no money. They said, damn. They know he want to do the ass so bad. They know this shit. He been hearing about him. He been hearing these bullshit ass fans, these bitches out here. He been hearing all these motherfucking bullshit ass fight makers. You need to do this. You want me to beat Sean Porter? I'll whoop Sean Porter. You want me to whoop Kell Brook? I'll whoop Kell Brook. You want me to do this? I'll do this. You want me to wait? I'll do this. And at the end of the fucking day, we still ain't got shit.
And you know what's so crazy? After he beat the guys they told him to fight, they had excuses coming right behind that one. They said all they do was washed up. Oh, that guy was about to retire.
Yeah. So why you want him to fight him then? He should just went straight to Earl. Well, Earl got to clean up his side of the street. What? I'm telling you right now, he's fighting Keith Thurman next. I'm telling you right now, he's fighting Keith Thurman next. Keith Thurman all of a sudden getting interviews after Wham. I don't know why the fuck he getting interviews. Keith Thurman popping major shit lately. I don't know where the fuck he came from. And he number one in WBC right now. He's number one in WBC right now. Number one.
Hey Reginald, I see you back there, man. But you gotta connect your device.
That's the guy. He's defending Errol Spence. If that's the same one in the car.
Yeah, it looked like it. It looked like it. So, but yeah,
dude, man. After all this bullshit he's doing, you can talk to Keyshawn Davis. You can talk to a prospect with 6 fights. You can tell him who gonna whoop his ass. But when he say holler at Terence Crawford, your ass quiet. What the fuck? How can you defend that shit? And Jermell Charlo bitch ass come up to 154, Luby gonna knock you out. Bitch, why don't you do it?
I forgot to talk about that weak ass shit. We're gonna have to do a whole other video about that.
Jamel playing matchmaker and shit.
and Regis Prograde bitch ass talking about Bud need to leave Jamel alone. Regis, you need to shut the fuck up or Bud beat your ass.
For real.
If Carlo about that shit, That's like last time I checked. If you was about that shit, you gonna show a motherfucker you about that shit. That's last time I checked. He ain't had no problem showing Mikey Garcia was about that shit. He ain't had no problem running up on Keith Thurman talking this shit. But it seemed when this little black motherfucker from Omaha, Nebraska, Omaha standing the fuck up. When he came to the motherfucking door, everybody got scared. Now I don't know about
You breaking up a little bit, AB.
Oh, my bad. I'm driving. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you good now.
All right. I said no.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey, hold on 1 second, Reginald. I'm gonna bring you in 1 second. Let me just let AB finish what he was saying, then we're gonna give you a few minutes to speak your piece, okay?
All right.
All right, go ahead, AB. Wrap up what you were saying, and I'm gonna let Reginald go ahead.
All I know is, I know when certain people walk in the room and the room get quiet, that means that's a bad motherfucker. That's all I know. And there was a whole lot of yapping going on about Big Fish, Boogeyman, and all this shit. But when this dude walked in the room, everybody got quiet. But go ahead.
Okay. All right, so we got somebody new that joined us here on the panel. My guy, Reginald, what's going on with your fam, and what's on your mind?
Yeah, what's up, fellas? And thanks for having me.
Nah, of course, man. Of course. I appreciate you for coming on through, man.
Yes, at the end of the day, Errol Spence tweeted that the fight is happening, and he's the A side, and I think that we all probably need to sit back, and let the negotiations continue to go down. And I think we all can agree that Earl and Bud is not scared of each other. They're not ducking each other. But this is the fight business. And Bud got the right to get every dollar that he can for him and his family. There's nothing wrong with that. If that takes a few more months or a few more weeks, we should sit back, take a deep breath, and let let Bud get all his money. But we all can't agree that they not scared of each other and they not ducking each other. And thanks for having me. That's all I have to say.
Okay, I appreciate you for coming on through once again, Reginald. But we ain't agreeing with that at all. We ain't agreeing with that at all, man. I think when you talk about whether or not Errol Spence is ducking Terence Crawford, I think there's just too much evidence to support that he is. And then also too, I'd like to get your opinion on this deal, this 35%, this no guarantee, this I like to get your opinion on that. How do you feel about that as far as a deal for Bud Crawford? And I get that it's a as of right now, it's not 100% confirmed, but it does look like that's what the case is. So let me get your thoughts on that.
I think Bud is, like I said, this is negotiations. And I think Bud is holding out to get more money. Maybe he wants 40%, and he's throwing that out there, trying to put pressure on Al Heyman. But one thing y'all probably don't realize, Al Heyman messed up millions of dollars, and PBC is going broke. That's why every fight that you see is $80. I really believe it's money in the fight, but it's a lot of money that's not there because Al Heyman done messed up the money. And I really believe that. I think PBC is going out of business and they're going broke. And that's why the fight, it should be $100 million fight, but now it's maybe like a $20 million fight because Al Heyman he messed up the money. And I think Bud is using that 35 thing, he putting it out there to get more money, but PBC is broke. And Showtime is not going to mortgage the farm on PBC. That's what I truly think. I think PBC done mess up so much money. I don't think it ain't no money left for big fights.
But here go the thing though, Reginald. If they're going broke, then how do you explain them offering guys like Canelo Alvarez $50 million? $100 million contract.
But Canelo is he's a draw. He's a draw. One thing about Hispanic fighters and their fan base, they're gonna show up to his venues, as we seen when he fought Triple D and pack it out. He's a money maker. He's a money maker.
This ain't no money maker. They gonna be the money maker together. This is what everybody wants.
You know what? But I heard that when EJ fought at Jerry Jones Stadium, Jerry Jones gave away about 20,000 tickets to fill it up because Earl did not sell it out. I think Earl think he a big star, but he's not really a big star when it comes down to actual books.
Mm.
And,
we know that.
And I think as for Canelo, he's a draw. He gonna make money with Canelo, but EJ he's not a draw. Tank I think Tank might be the second best draw, but Earl is not the big star like he think he is. Maybe in his head he think he a big star, but he's not.
Well, hey, I'm glad you said that for a second, because you said Earl thinks he's a big star, which he's not, or he thinks he's that big star, and then you also said the PBC and are they going broke or something like that? So my question to you is, what makes you think Errol Spence is the A side if you just said PBC is going broke and Errol Spence ain't the big star as he think he is?
Just because he got 3 belts and he's signed to Al Heyman. Bud is not signed in no deal with Al Heyman. Bud is a free agent, so he can sign with whoever. But since EJ is signed to PBC and PBC is doing all the negotiations, and that's the main reason why Earl is the A side. But we all know boxing, and both of those guys are both dogs, and both of them, it was up to me, should be 50-50 down the middle. And that's what
one puppy.
Hey, I guess we got a comedian. Okay.
I know comedian. I'm so speaking facts. Because he was the boogeyman, was he not the boogeyman?
Okay.
How you the boogeyman? I'm chasing you. And dude ain't say you the boogeyman. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay, let's go with facts. Go ahead. Okay, the facts is when Bud was at 135, he was a dog. 140, he was a dog. He come to 147. He got Jeff Horn, which is nobody.
That's a nobody that
let me finish. Let me finish. He beat Jeff Horn.
Who will Pacquiao?
No, Pacquiao won both those fights. They just gave it to him.
He lost. On his record is a loss. So we're gonna keep it. We're gonna speak the facts, right? We're gonna keep it a buck.
Okay, let me finish. And he beat a retiring Sean Porter. Now you look at he beat a retiring Sean Porter who pretty much cashed out. He cashed out.
Now, in less than 100 shots. Y'all want this dude. Y'all want Bud to fight Sean Porter, and when Bud stopped him and did worse than did better than Errol Spence did, because Earl said it was the easy route. And he went to hell with Sean Porter. And since Bud wiped him off the planet, y'all want to say, well, Sean Porter was retiring. All these fucking excuses.
It's not excuses.
Dude, it's an excuse. You gonna say, well, Sean Porter's about to retire. That's why Bud Crawford, you can't get his man his credit. But say it with me. Bud Crawford whooped his ass. Retirement not. Bud Crawford whooped his ass. Don't put no caveat on it. He put no caveat on motherfucking what's the boy name? Kell Brooks, who had a broke face for Triple G. Y'all gonna say, well, Errol Spence whooped Kell Brooks proceed. But y'all ain't gonna say nothing about the broken face.
But Kell Brook was an apex predator when Earl fought him for his belt.
That's what I'm saying. He was an apex predator with a broken face.
Actually,
he was a dog.
Kell Brook was weight drained when he fought Errol Spence, and that was from Kell Brook's own mouth.
And had a broken face.
But this is we gotta realize PBC got all the top 147. And Bud have not proved that he's
what you mean? What he got to prove?
But Bud have not proved that he's a top dog.
Stop it.
I mean, you said. Let me finish, and I give you the flow. Let me finish like I'm gonna give you the flow.
You sound crazy. You sound Earl ain't did nothing to fight Errol Spence. That's what the fuck you just said. You sound like a fucking.
Let me finish. But like I said, Bud proved that he's a dog at 140 and 135. He did not do that at 147. He didn't fight Keith. He didn't fight Danny Garcia.
You know, Earl didn't fight Keith either, right?
You said Danny Garcia. Oh my god.
Hey, it's a trend, ain't it, Bo?
Danny's a dog, man. Hey, if you look at Danny's career, only person that really whooped his ass was Errol Spence.
But hold on, though. Wait. But here go the thing, though. You just said that Bud Crawford wasn't a top dog at 147 because
he didn't beat the top dogs at 147.
Okay, you said that he didn't beat the top dogs at 147, but
Yes.
you do understand that Danny Garcia has beat nobody at 147, right?
Nobody.
But if you look at Danny Garcia, career, if you look at Danny Garcia career, that Sean Porter and Keith Thurman fight could have been either way. That's how close it was.
So we're gonna give him a participation award.
Oh no, Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a live dog, man. You can't downplay him.
Garcia would have got destroyed by Bud Crawford. Stop the cap.
You don't know that until they fight.
You know that. That's why when Bud took the contract, $3 million a day, and Danny gonna say, "Well, Al, I ain't heard nothing from Al." They asked Danny, "What's up with the contract Bud sent you?" They ain't sent it to Al. Everything got to go through Al.
But you know what?
Man,
but this is the facts. This is the facts.
That's the fact. You can't make
this
nobody
is the
fight.
fact. But this is the fact. We don't know how good these fighters is until they actually fight.
If Mikey Garcia came up at 135, they had to do shit. He had to do shit at 147. He won a pound-for-pound rank higher than Bud Crawford. He ain't got the accolades Bud Crawford got. And you tell me that this motherfucker get a shot instantly, and Bud got to go through all these fucking hoops. And
Bud just came.
Man, get out
Bud
of here.
Bud just came a free agent like a year ago, and but like I said,
now what?
But I don't know. But look, the thing is that Bud has not proven that he's the top dog at 147. Earl fought everybody.
What does
he
have
got 2 belts.
Hey, Bud did. Earl did. What you mean?
Hey, Reggie, I just want to say this real fast, Reggie. You said Sean Porter had retired because that's when he lost to Bud, but also Sean Porter said he was thinking about retiring when he fought Errol Spence. So why can't you use that excuse? You know what I'm saying?
It make Earl look bad. They can't let Earl look bad.
No.
Good.
They can't even put it.
Hold on, Don. I'm gonna bring you on properly. Give me a second.
Good. No, I just want to ask Reggie a question, man.
Yes, go ahead.
Because he seems to be very fanatical. Hey, how you doing, Reggie, bro? This is
how you doing, man?
Good, brother. I just have a quick question for you.
Yes.
So you do know this when Errol Spence fought Sean Porter, and you could fact check me on this. Porter had bad hips when he fought Earl. When Porter fought Bud, he had some kind of procedure to have better hip, where his hips were better. So basically what I'm saying to you is Bud fought the better physically ready Sean Porter than Errol did. See, a lot of I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but you know, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, he was washed when he came to him, and which isn't necessarily true. And even with the Kell Brooks situation, Kell Brooks said coming into the Bud fight, he felt the best he ever felt. And if you know, he was on a 3-fight winning streak when he fought Bud versus Kell Brooks having to move down in weight when he fought Spence, and he took a devastating injury to a Triple G, you know, to move down in weight, and he had a deadline to go to weight drain basically. So I mean that's to debunk all the talk that Bud fought the worst versions of Sean Porter and Kell Brooks.
You know what I mean? Like Deontay Wilder said, no fight is 100% when they fight because they all hurt.
Oh yeah,
they all aching somewhere.
Yeah, they all hurt. Well, just like any sport, you're not gonna be 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because you got training camp, whether it be basketball, football, anything. You're never gonna be 100%. You know, you're gonna have little aches and pains.
I don't know why.
But
do you want to respond to that, Reginald? Go ahead.
Yeah. What's your question?
Nah, I mean he pretty much gave you he just debunked that Sean Porter and Kell Brooks were the better versions.
I have another question for you, Reginald. You said Errol Spence fought all these top welterweights. Name the top welterweights for me.
He took Uga's belt and he took Danny Garcia belt.
Hey, to them, to them, Leonard Bundu was the top welterweight.
Oh, okay. And Reggie, let me ask you this though. Bud called out these so-called top welterweights. He called out Danny Garcia, right? And they sent over the contract. He never heard back from the man. $3 million and a shot at WBO belt. He never heard back from him.
But you know, Al Heyman, if you ain't gonna sign to Al Heyman ain't gonna let you cross over. You gotta sign. You gotta sign a 3-fight deal.
No, wait, hold up. Let me correct you on that. Felix Diaz, wasn't Felix Diaz a PBC fighter?
Yes, he was.
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. He was.
Yeah, he was a PBC fighter. Of course, Porter, PBC fighter. So it's basically just an excuse, you know, like
John Molina Jr. was also a PBC fighter too.
Exactly.
But they B level. We talking about an A-list fighter. You're not gonna cross over.
You say he want to stop, but now you're saying A-list fighter. What's up?
Okay, Reggie, let me ask you this.
You got to be an A-list. You know what? I'll make a perfect example. Devin Haney had to sign a deal with Bob Arum just to get Kambosa. That's me. Bob Arum said, look, if you want this title, you got to sign a 3-fight deal. And guess what? He signed to Bob Arum now. It's just business. And that's what I truly believe. It will be a lot easier if Bud signed with PBC.
Ain't that what he did?
Okay, so why didn't Felix Diaz had to sign with Top Rank?
I'm not sure who Felix Diaz is. I don't deal with really lightweights or bantamweights. What's his weight class?
He was 140?
Yeah, he was 140.
Lightweight. But hold up. This the latest 3-fight contract deal Bud signed. Ain't that with the PBC?
No, Bud a free agent.
They're signed for 2. They're just giving him 2 fights for this 35% deal.
Instead, that means he signed with the PBC, right?
No, Bud is a free agent. He ain't signed with PBC.
No, he didn't like sign. He's a free agent. He didn't sign like actual deal. Yeah, because he's his own.
Yeah, but it'd be a lot easier if he want Charlo, if he want Boot. It'd be a lot easier if he want to come to PBC.
They don't want to fight you, bro. You cannot fight nobody. Nobody don't want to fight you.
Hey, hold on, everybody. We got somebody new that done pulled up on the panel. My guy, Lonnie Pondexter done pulled up on the panel. What's going on with you, fam?
What up, big dog? What's up, man?
What's going on? How y'all feeling?
Doing good.
Man, I had to get on the panel, man. I'm sitting here listening to your man, and he sounds crazy. He keep on saying, "All right, let's talk facts," and then go into giving his opinion about some shit that he don't really know.
Oh, okay. I think you want that work too. Let's go.
I want that work. Let's get it. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help but to join in.
Okay. You got the floor. You got the floor.
I mean, I'm here for the rebuttal. What you? Because you saying a lot of things.
Okay. Well, what's what I'm talking about? Facts that Bud has not beaten the top 147. All the top 147s is with PBC.
That's where I like him on the panel because we need to, you know what I'm saying? It make it exciting when we get to eat one of them up like that. It's too easy.
Hey, Reggie,
when you say he hasn't fought nobody at the top fighters at 147, you gotta think like, okay, you see him making offers to the top fighters. Keith Thurman just now came back finally and was like, I want to fight Crawford now. But all the years building up to it, Crawford had to prove himself. Crawford haven't done nothing, and he still got the belt. He
was with a Bob Arum and Bob Arum.
It don't matter. It don't matter if you with Bob or not. He still moved up to 147 from 140 undisputed. So when you move up like that, you automatically, you know what I'm saying? You automatically top dog. And you say he haven't done nothing to prove himself, but he did everything. He beat the champion in Jeff Horn, who just beat Manny Pacquiao.
But you know what?
The man who beat the man. Exactly.
He beat the man who beat the man. He's been doing it for so long. He been beating the man that beat the man for so long that a lot of guys just started watching boxing during COVID time, so they don't understand.
No, they don't know the history. Bud
Reggie,
messed his career by re-signing with Bob Arum. He should have never re-signed with Bob Arum.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Reggie, you know how
When you can make a fight, you can make a fight. Especially with Spence. When Spence say he the top dog and he
Hey,
his
hold
own
on,
boss.
y'all. One at a time. Y'all, one at a time. Too many people
I'm
talking
sorry.
at one time.
Forgive me.
Yeah. People got to be able to hear y'all. That's all.
You right. So when you say you the
good.
top dog and you say you your own boss, you could make your own moves. It don't matter who your promoter is. If you got your own LLC, you got your own company, you can, jump here, you could jump over there, you can contract with different companies and make fights happen. You don't have to stay with Al Heyman. You don't have to stay with him. Just like Crawford didn't have to stay with Bob Arum. I don't have to. He was getting money over there. Cool.
Hey,
you mean
just
Earl?
To show you.
You mean Earl? Earl got an exclusive contract with PBC. I mean, that's mean Earl can't do nothing without Al Heyman sign off on it. Just like Wilder, just like the Charlos.
Hold on, I thought. Oh, there we go.
No, he's not. Those are just facts.
So why he saying that then?
So what's the difference between Crawford having that same type of contract with Bob and Spence having the same type of contract with Al? But you see Crawford doing what he got to do to, move away from Bob. Let me show you how I conduct business. Let me show you how to conduct business. If you really want to make this fight happen, go ahead and do what you got to do on your end.
You know what happened? You know what happened when Bob was with Bob Arum. Bob Arum was busy promoting Lomachenko behind ESPN, and they had the best fighter in the world, and they dropped the bag.
But that don't matter. When Bob is with Crawford and they both run up on Spence asking for that work, Crawford's doing what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to approach you with his promoter standing next to him, saying we want that work.
Bob always said Errol Spence didn't want to fight.
How many times he got to say it? Bob can't make him fight.
That's a fact.
But Al Heyman's like Al Heyman was like, I already got some dogs over here, so I don't got to worry about you. I don't got to do business with you. I got Garcia. I got Porter.
Hey Reggie,
those are not top fighters. You speak of them as if they're top dogs. They're not top dogs like that. Those are speed-class fighters.
If I keep hearing that Danny Garcia is a top fighter, man, I'm gonna go ahead and jump.
Okay, listen. Okay, listen. Y'all listen. Okay, if you take out Bud and you take out Earl and leave Boost off, who's the top 147s right now?
At this point, the top 147 is still Keith Thurman. Look at his record. It still speaks for itself. He still beat Eric. Yeah. He still beat Sean Porter. He still beat Danny Garcia. Yeah. He was at the top.
Yep.
When was the last time Keith Thurman fought? It was like
last time Keith Thurman fought, he fought that young cat that moved up from 140.
So we all agreed
he fought Manny. He fought Manny.
Yeah, no, he fought after that. He fought the young boy that Tank knocked out, Barrios.
So who's the best 147 fighter without a belt right now?
His last fight.
It's still Keith Thurman.
Okay, he's with PBC. And it'd be a lot easier if Bud signed with PBC to get
Keith Thurman. How many times do we got too many videos with Keith Thurman ducking Crawford?
PBC when you just said the PBC is broke. So why would you want Bud to sign with him?
Exactly.
Look, Al Heyman's going to charge everybody $80, and I'm a bootleg to fight like I've been doing.
Bud not gonna want to sign PBC and be a slave for these low guarantees when he used to what he made a top rank. He's not gonna want to sign. That's what
he could get Charlo. He could get Charlo. He could get Boots. He could get Earl and Keith.
You know, so crazy, dog.
Hey Reggie.
Yes.
Hey, Reggie said earlier that the PBC is broke, but now he's saying Bud should sign with the PBC. Now, how does that make sense?
I mean, but let's be honest.
I can tell you why the PBC don't got no money, because they paid all that extra money to get Ugas out that so-called tournament.
Hey Reggie,
that's a lie.
That's the truth.
Hey Reggie,
that's the truth. He paid all that extra money to get Ugas out that tournament. That's why nobody could go after Ugas, because he got locked up in the tournament. That belt was gone. We had Errol cornered. It was either you got to fight Boots or you got to fight Crawford now, Because that belt that Ugas got is out the picture.
The
Magically. Magically.
The
they
reason
made that fight announcement.
The reason PBC is broke because when Al Heyman launched the company, he was overpaying for everything, and it caught up with him, later on.
That's why
hold on.
He was doing too many backdoor deals to try to get Errol.
Hold on, real quick, y'all. Salute World Combat Sports in the building, man. He say, Bud definitely got to keep moving on, man. Giving him 2 rolls a quarter.
Yeah, he do.
To fight for undisputed.
But no. I was saying to Reggie that Charlo basically already said he's gonna vacate his belts if Bud moves to 154 and challenges him. He don't want the smoke. Oh,
shit, Charlo's a matchmaker. Charlo's a matchmaker.
Charlo Arum. He's Camille Arum.
Y'all comfortable? Y'all's not comfortable saying that Bug they're gonna walk through Charlo like Charlo some random fighter. Charlo's is a dog. That'll be a tough fight for Bud.
That'll be a good fight. I like that fight.
You got more confidence in Charlo than Charlo got in himself. So Charlo keep putting everybody else against Bud. Why don't you be
Man, Charlo is a dog, man. I don't know why people sleeping on him.
Man,
Charlo is a dog, man.
Charlo is a match.
I'm gonna tell you who.
Tell him don't
I'm
stop the dog.
I'm gonna tell you another dog that nobody want to fight. And that's David Benavidez. He's the top dog at 168.
Oh no! Hey, but check this out. Hey, it'd be a super fight if Benavidez move up to 175 and challenge Better Beef. I would love to see that.
That'd be a good one too.
What's wrong? Have you heard of Bibble?
Oh yeah,
I think that'd be a good matchup with Bibble.
No, that's a super fight. The two champions at 175. That's a match.
Benavidez sparred Beevil for the Canelo fight. I heard he was giving him that work. I heard he was giving Beevil that work.
Man, that's one side of the story. And we know sparring is completely different than real fighting.
No, I just got through
but
sparring and fighting is two different things. Sparring when you're working on shit. Fighting when you're trying to take a motherfucker head off. It's different. Sparring, you holding back. When you fight, you trying to knock that motherfucker out.
I'll say some people hold back. Some people hold back.
They've been when they'll fought at 175. To go to 175 and fight the hardest punching motherfucker in boxing. Stop it, bro. Stop it.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be a good fight.
David Benavidez. David walking around about what 190.
Nobody want to fight that Mexican, man. He's a dog.
No. Yeah, they don't want to fight him. Charlo don't want to fight him.
Yeah, Canelo don't want to fight him neither.
Charlo don't want to fight him. Charlo said he don't bring nothing. Charlo said he don't bring nothing to the table.
Charlo don't want that work.
That's that new breed of boxer. It's all about what you can bring. It's not about if you're the best no more.
See,
they hide behind politics and money. That's what they do.
The politics and money.
You know what it is? All these sanctioning bodies, all these belts. If it was like the UFC where there's one belt per division, then we wouldn't have all these problems.
Listen. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. The problem is the promoters. They hide them behind promoters. It's not even the sanctioning bodies, because when you take a look at Canelo and you see how Canelo's moving.
No, the sanctioning bodies are the problem. I'll explain after
Crater,
right?
sanctioned by that.
So how can we see Canelo fight damn near 5 times a year, and we still ain't got this Crawford-Spence fight?
All right, so check this out. I'm gonna explain to you. Let me explain to you why I think the sanctioning bodies are the problem. Now, how is it that certain people get forced mandatories and other people hasn't have a mandatory in years? So you mean to tell me the sanctioning bodies doesn't play a role in that?
They play a role, but I'm saying the fighters are the problem.
They paying them good. They paying them.
Yeah, but the sanctioning bodies, so the fighters.
Oh yeah. The fighters are definitely the problem, because we got fighters that like to hide behind promoters and
But
sanctioning
see,
bodies and politics.
you know who destroyed. You know who destroyed boxing as great as this fighter was? Floyd Mayweather.
He did it. Floyd did it.
No, he did.
Floyd, he did.
I'm not going to say he destroyed boxing because there were other people that
from a
had
business
money before Floyd
standpoint.
Mayweather.
You're not
Floyd
getting
make
what
a
I
lot of
mean,
money,
though.
man, but
I'm talking about the way he moves, and people start trying to follow that model.
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing, though. It's like, oh, go ahead, my bad.
It was pretty much money Mayweather. They trying to get the money Mayweather. They ain't with the pretty floor route. Floor fight everybody.
None of these guys really made a name for themselves to even get to that level.
That's what I'm saying. They trying to get them. They think they money Mayweather off the rip.
But see, you know the problem too. PBC fighters don't fight that much. Did y'all see an interview with Kid Austin? Was it Kid Austin? And he signed with Golden Boy, and they asked him why didn't he sign with PBC? He said their contracts are whack. Like he went on to say
He called them slave contracts.
Yeah, slave contracts, and I made a joke. I think it's on King David's page. I left in the comment. I said PBC fighters are like temp agency workers. They just waiting by the phone to get that call for a fight. You know, like they don't fight that much.
You know who said that? Johnny Rice actually said that. He said he got to wait by his phone, waiting for a phone call to get to us. Get a fight.
Like you signed with. Like you at a temp agency, you wait by your phone for a job to call you. That's exactly what it's like, man. Like it's crazy, And a lot of these fighters, they probably want to be active, and they got a lot of PVC fights, so they just waiting on the shelf. Like, they get a fight once a year, or if that. It's just like, I could only imagine frustrating being a fighter, and you're not getting that many fights. You like. They losing money.
Right. I want to switch back to Bud and Spence, and I'm gonna tell you guys how Earl gonna stop Bud.
Oh,
stop the cap.
I really want to hear this, and don't say Bud's gonna be a punching bag and just lose all his IQ, because that's not gonna happen.
No, I'm gonna tell you why.
Hey, Reggie, you do know this, right? You do know this, Reggie. Bud is the least hit welterweight in the division, right? And he connects on almost 50% on the power punches. I just want to leave that out there for you.
He didn't know that.
Do your breakdown. But go ahead. Go ahead. We'll let you break it down.
Okay, now we all boxing junkies, and we all been following Bud and Earl. And one thing about Bud, he takes boxing data on all his fighters. That's mean the first 5 rounds, he can be taking boxing data on Errol Spence. And when he figure out the data, which probably gonna be the 6th and 7th round, if he don't knock Earl out, it's gonna be too little, too late. And that's making a long story short.
Earl is basic. Earl don't do too many things. He don't set no trap. He go 1, 2, 3. He gonna jab his way in, and his jab is not accurate. It's just busy. So he throw a flimsy jab out there that's not accurate, so he gonna counter you, and he gonna hurt you. So he gonna throw that flimsy jab out to go in, and throw that straight left, and he gonna try to go to the body. So he's gonna sidestep that shit and count that motherfucker all night.
But like I said earlier, Bud gonna take boxing data and Bud gonna until he get all the data in, which is it's gonna take about 5 to 6 rounds.
He gonna figure it out in the first round.
It's gonna take like
Bud
30 seconds,
Bud is
man.
a slow starter.
You heard that on somebody's channel, and you're trying to repeat that to us, and we not for
Reggie,
it.
that's not true.
So when I can show you all the first round knockouts that Bud got, it just you got to look at the fight. You can't just hear that somewhere and then come over here and come talk that to us. We smarter than that.
Hey, Reggie, check this out.
The last time he had a first round knockdown was with Amir Khan. 2 years ago.
I was about to bring up Amir Khan. That's what I was about to bring up.
But
Amir Khan start off.
It don't matter. It don't matter. That's a. When the last time Spence got a first round knockdown?
Never.
Spence,
Never.
Spence, one thing.
When was the last time
Spence
he got a
pressure.
stoppage?
Spence got pressure.
Spence couldn't stop Mike Garcia. He can't stop Mike Garcia with 800 punches. Mike Garcia came up for 135.
But he beat
And he's
Garcia ass
loaded.
so bad he ain't been the same.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
But
Garcia was
he
fine.
survived.
Garcia was fine after the fight.
You supposed to stop him. You supposed
He
to
couldn't
stop
stop
him.
Lewis.
Not just
He couldn't stop Lewis.
I mean, like I said, Bud gonna take 5 to 6 rounds trying to download all the boxing data on Earl.
What are you talking about? Download this. He's fighting you.
Hey, real quick. Hey, hold on, real
He's
quick.
gonna fight you.
Hey, real quick, y'all. Hey, I got my guy Lightspeed that's trying to come on. So panel's full at the moment. So if anybody want to drop,
Okay, I'm gonna get out, fellas. Hey, thanks a lot for everybody.
No, you stay on. We need you to stay on.
Okay.
We need you to stay on. I'll get off. I need you to stay on though. Just know I'm here with you in spirit.
I'm gonna drop off. I'm dropping off. All right.
I'm here with you in spirit.
All right,
Hey,
fellas.
Reggie, don't duck that smoke, Reggie. Don't duck.
I'm here.
Don't duck the smoke, Ray. I'm still here.
Okay.
So when Reggie, I'm still here. So when you start telling me Bud gonna sit here and download information for 6 rounds before he throw a punch back and it's not gonna work, I don't buy it.
Reggie
I'm
got
not buying it.
Hey, Reggie got the
I'm
fuck
not
up out of
sold.
here. This is Reggie did. He got the fuck up out of here.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you still here?
Yeah, but listen,
Who was it?
Earl. One thing about Bud gonna analyze and take boxing notes on all his fighters. And then he gonna figure them out in the late rounds and stop him.
Tell me this, Reggie.
That's his career.
What was the last Crawford fight that you watched? From the whole fight?
Yeah.
When was the last time you watched the fight?
When he fought Porter, he figured Porter out in the second half of the fight.
No, he even told you he figured it out in the first round.
Yeah.
He told you on camera.
That's not.
He said, I figured it out. I figured him out in the first round, but I boxed him.
You looking at when the knockout happened. You looking at when the knockout happened.
Bud is the second half of the fight. When he fought Mean Machine and when he fought Benavidez, he downloaded data and figured them out in the second half of the fight. And that's going to be a big problem.
He didn't download data. Yeah, of course, he downloaded data while you fighting, but at the same time, he made adjustments during those fights. He fought 1 or 2 ways, made the adjustment, fight went on, made more adjustments, and got the stoppage.
That's what I'm saying. Bud is a slow starter. If you look at his
it's not about being a slow starter. It's about one style that you're using. You might have more success in another style. And that's what people talk about when they speak of Bud. Oh, well, he got so many dimensions to his game. At this point, he can't be stopped. Because he has too many dimensions. If one way is not working, he knows how to make the adjustment on the spot and fight another style.
But he gonna figure that out in the second half of the fight. I'm trying to tell you, he gonna be down on the scorecard.
Reggie, he's making adjustments on the spot. It's not he's waiting 2-3 rounds.
I'm gonna give you a perfect example. When Bernard Hopkins for Jermaine Taylor, the first fight, Bernard, just like Errol Spence, was taking boxing data, and Jermaine Taylor.
Stop it.
See, we breaking up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, when Bernard Hopkins fought Jermaine Taylor, the first fight, Bernard started off slow, taking boxing data, and when he finally figured out Jermaine Taylor, it was too little, too late. Now, if you notice the second fight, Bernard came out blasting. He clearly won that second fight, but they still gave it to Jermaine Taylor. That's how I see that Bud and Crawford fight going, just like that. Jermaine Taylor and Bernard Hopkins, I see the carbon copies of that fight. Bud going to start off slow, taking boxing information, but it's going to be too little, too late. Earl going to build up at least 5 points by the time Bud finally get all the information he need and he gonna need a knockout to stop Earl. But Earl got a great chin, and Bud is chinny. Y'all got to give me that.
Hold on, how's Bud chinny, but Earl's not chinny?
Hold on, y'all.
Y'all know Bud's chinny.
Wait. Hey, hold on, y'all. Before y'all do that, man, let me read the super chat real quick. Jamal Neezy say, why Bud need to download a one-dimensional fighter? That's the question for you right now.
Earl is not one-dimensional. He could box and he could bang.
Oh boy.
Ask Ugas about that. Who beat Bud Crawford in the amateurs?
Oh, we talk about amateurs now? Come on.
I'm just saying, Ugas beat Earl. I mean, Ugas beat Bud.
We talking about stuff that happened like 15 years ago?
But a win is a win.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Different scoring system in amateurs.
Who has
a win is a win?
Who has Errol Spence boxed beside Mikey Garcia?
He boxed good against Mikey Garcia. He boxed against Porter real good. And that Kell Brook fight is another one that Earl came from behind the stock. A good Kell Brook who beat Sean Porter.
Kell Brook has always been a B class fighter, B class fighter.
No,
he's not
Kell Brook was the A
monster.
class.
Kell Brook has never been an A class fighter in his career. The only reason he fought Errol Spence was because he was coming off of that win for a vacant title against Sean Porter. Two B class fighters fighting for a title.
No.
That's the only reason he got
Sean
it.
Porter was the champion. Sean Porter was the champion when they fought.
That was a vacant belt.
No, it wasn't.
Hey, hold on, real quick, man. Let me read the super chat real quick. My guy Don Vaughn said with the $5 super chat, salute to you, homie, man. He say, in other words, Mayweather, Reggie don't know shit about boxing. That's what he's saying.
So Reggie, let me tell you this, Reggie, real quick, Reggie. So Crawford has a better resume at 147 than Errol Spence does. You want to know why? Because how many undefeated? Because I could tell you off the top of my head, he already defeated 2 undefeated fighters at 147. He just matched up what Spence has in his whole career. 2 undefeated fighters. Benavidez was 27-0 when he fought Crawford. Mean Machine was 27-0.
Up, man. He was shot
he was
up.
An undefeated fighter.
Jeff Horn was undefeated too.
But Jeff Horn was undefeated too. So that's 3 right off the top of my head at 147. That tells me he has a better resume than Spence does.
You know, Jeff Horn
Spence ain't doing nothing but fighting leftovers.
Jeff Horn is nobody. Jeff Horn is
what
a
you mean he's nobody?
fighter.
He whooped Pacquiao. He whooped Pacquiao at home and took his belt.
Hey, check this out. He said Jeff Horn is a nobody, right? But that's the same nobody that Errol Spence wanted to fight. And if Errol Spence
real quick,
Jeff Horn, they would say Errol Spence beat Jeff Horn. But now that Crawford beat Jeff Horn, they said Jeff Horn is a nobody.
Exactly. It's always an excuse when Crawford whoops somebody. It's either they nobody or they shell themselves or they washed up. It's always something. So when Bud beat the shot of Errol Spence, if they ever fight, well, Spence had to wait too long. He had a car accident. It's gonna be some bullshit.
Now I'm trying to tell you, Bud got a good chance of beating Errol Spence before the drinking stopped. Earl don't drink no more, and he's training.
Good chance. Yeah, Bud chance is just as good as the sun coming up tomorrow. It's gonna come up.
No,
it's gonna come up.
Earl is a different animal now.
No, he's not.
Bud
Earl is
don't
basic.
drink no more. Earl on farm.
Earl is basic. You can't be no basic dude and walk up to Bud Crawford and think he just gonna stand there. He basic. He can't fight off the back foot. He can't fight off the back foot.
Anybody that whooped Floyd ass is sparring is not basic.
Did you see
those
it?
are
Did you
facts.
see it? Did you see it?
Everybody confirmed that he whooped Floyd ass.
Did you see it? Did you see it? I see Errol Spence fight, and I can't. And judging by how he fought, I can't believe he whooped Floyd Mayweather ass. Judging by how he fought,
everybody confirmed it. Everybody confirmed it.
Sean Porter can whoop Floyd Mayweather ass too, right? Can Sean Porter whoop Floyd Mayweather ass too?
Everybody confirmed that Errol Spence whooped Floyd at that time was training.
I need to see video evidence. I need to see video evidence. A lie ain't shit to tell. My wife lied to me all the fucking time. A lie ain't shit to tell. My kids lie all the fucking time. A lie ain't shit to. My mama lied to me. A lie ain't shit to tell, bro. I ain't believing shit another motherfucker say.
Yeah, I
Hey,
need to see the video evidence
Floyd
too.
didn't deny it neither.
He
Floyd
don't.
said
He
he
didn't say he
gave him that
did.
work.
Did Floyd say, yeah, he whooped my ass? No.
He
Floyd
said he
said he
gave him
had
that
good work,
work.
and that was it.
Floyd didn't say shit because Floyd is Floyd.
Hey,
That's why
Reggie,
Floyd
you
didn't have to say shit.
You never
hey,
heard of
Reggie,
Floyd
man,
getting
you
his
gotta
ass
bring some
whooped.
newer narratives,
What?
man.
That's what I'm saying. So Floyd didn't never say he get. You saying Floyd got his ass whooped? Has Floyd
And
said he got his ass
sparred
whooped?
by young Errol Spence.
Has Floyd? Who said that? Errol Spence, right? His fanboy.
You know, so crazy.
Floyd-
Errol Spence didn't even say he whipped Floyd ass in sparring.
That's what I'm
Yes, he
saying.
did.
These motherfucking
Yes,
tall
yes,
kids
he
and shit.
did. Yes, he did in an interview.
How you do it then? How you do it? And tell me how you do it. Since
Okay,
you know you did it, how you do it? Tell me the combination.
I am.
How you
I'm
catch
explaining to you.
Go ahead.
When
I know boxing now. I box now. So tell me.
When Spence and Floyd got through sparring.
No, I'm telling you, how did he catch him? How did he catch him? Tell me how he caught him. Since you know, what did Floyd do? Did Floyd jab and Earl sidestep that shit? Did he block parry? What did he do? Did he catch him with a 1, 2, 3? Tell me what he did. Since you know,
No, I was not. I was
box,
not.
bro. Sir,
I
I
was
box,
not
sir.
there.
Sir, that's what I'm saying. So how can you speak on some shit you don't even know? You telling me some shit that somebody else told you?
Out of Earl's mouth, he said.
Okay.
He keep telling us
Earl
what he
said
heard.
a lot of shit that's a motherfucking lie.
I don't.
He keep telling us what he heard.
Nobody say Earl was lying.
Okay.
Everybody say Earl.
So
Earl never said he whipped
tell you
Mayweather's
anything.
ass.
If your daddy Errol Spence tell you anything, you gonna believe it. That's what you're saying. If your daddy tell you anything, you gonna believe it. That's what you're saying. That's what you're telling me right now.
No.
Earl said it, so I gotta believe it.
No.
Okay.
Floyd said that Earl gave him that work too.
Floyd said it.
No, Floyd
Floyd said Earl gave him that work.
I ain't never heard that.
Yeah.
When?
Yes. That's why he the one who that's what said he the truth.
What my
That's out of Floyd's mouth. He said Earl the truth.
Hey, Floyd never said Errol Spence gave him that work. He said it was some good work in they sparring. That was it.
Hey, hold on
Close
real quick,
enough.
y'all. Hey, hold on real quick, man. Hey, Joe Cool, I see you in the background, bro. We full at the moment. If anybody want to drop off and give Joe Cool a chance to pop on and talk his shit. Oh, somebody just dropped off literally as we were saying that. Okay, come on through, Joe Cool.
I want to finish giving y'all that work, man. I'm an Earl Spence fan all day.
Shit, we can tell.
Yeah,
we can definitely tell you're Errol Spence fan.
I don't know how.
That's what I'm saying.
Anybody want that Wilder work? I'm there too.
Watch out, man. Gonna be Earl. You can't
David Benavidez.
Now.
What's up, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you good, fam. What's going on with you, man? Welcome to the panel. What's on your mind?
All right. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Yeah, what up, fellas?
What's up, man?
Man, I want to know, like, what planet are Errol Spence fans on, man? I don't understand.
We on the unified welterweight planet. Unified. We got 3 belts.
I've never seen. You know what? I've never seen. They call him if he called himself the A side. Why? How come he not getting A side money? He has yet to make $6 million. He's yet to make $6 million.
PBC
$6 million. He ain't made $6 million.
Because PBC Al Heyman messed up the money by paying all these fighters earlier in his company, and they broke. They broke.
So Earl gonna
I feel like
with the broke niggas.
Yep.
Hey, you know what's so crazy? Hey, Joe Cool, you know what's so crazy? He said PBC is broke, but he wants Bud Crawford to sign to the PBC with they broke ass.
and they know if he would have done that, they still wouldn't have made the fight.
No, but you know what? Because Showtime going to pay a little bit of money.
Yeah,
Showtime going to pay a little bit of money for that fight.
And you know what? I think about the PBC when you remember when Floyd signed that 6-fight deal when he was fighting, and he was able to dictate, and they was basically he was able to dictate who we wanted to fight in those 6 fights. I was like, and he got paid so much money. It's that's the reason why the PBC is the way it is now.
But he was Pretty Boy Floyd. He built himself up. They want to be Money Mayweather off the rip.
Yeah, I just don't see Spence beating Bud though. I don't see him beating Bud. He don't move his head, man. He ain't got head movement.
Spence, I mean, Bud is chinny.
It don't matter if you don't move your head. Bud got
Bud
great
can't
defense.
take a punch, man.
Hey,
Bud been
explain to me how. Explain to me how Bud is chinny.
Yeah, I want to know that. How
And
come?
Spence ain't
How's
got
he
no power.
chinny?
He don't know.
Spence got
I'm just gonna say the
Spence.
This
next
don't know
era.
boxing, yo.
Spence be
Wow.
He
breaking
don't know no
eye
boxing, bro.
sockets, man.
Hey, how's Bud chinny?
Yeah, explain the chinny
Okay.
part. Why? How is he chinny?
Chinny, but because he got
When
hit
he
twice.
fought, when he fought Jokic Camboa, rocked him several times, and Jokic Camboa was a 126 pounder, and he was wobbly. I mean, jelly leg.
You saying he said he ride Terence Crawford several times?
Yes, throughout that fight.
I only seen him hit Terence Crawford one time, and that was the same round he got stopped.
Porter but busting him up too. Mean Machine dropped him.
He caught him a few times, but hurt once.
Okay, so let's just say this. Let's go by this narrative, right? So Terence Crawford got hurt by 2 punches. Errol Spence got hurt by 2 non-punches. He got hurt by Latte, and he got hurt by Ugas. Ugas knocked his ass, almost knocked him through the ropes. Ugas is not even a puncher.
Earl was looking for his mouthpiece, and he was off balance. Y'all need to let
Who does that? Who does that?
Hey, David, can I please comment on that? Can I please comment on that mouthpiece statement? It was a combination, and if you look back, he got hit with shots before that. That when the mouthpiece got knocked out, that was the hit that rocked him, and then he got hit with more after that. Look at the clip. Like that excuse don't work.
Right. And the referee know that was a knockdown too.
That was no knock. He was off balance, and he was looking for his mouthpiece, and he got hit. He didn't drop it.
Wow.
Mean Machine dropped Bud.
Hey, check this out.
Drop Bud.
Hey, did you watch that fight with James Toney and Roy Jones, and Roy hit James Toney and he fell to the ropes?
Yeah.
You count that as a
same thing.
But Tony was off balance, showboating. So you know what I'm saying.
But that was still a knockdown.
Come on, man.
That was still a knockdown, right?
Yeah, but Tony was showboating and got caught.
Be a knockdown?
Yeah,
why
he
can't
knocked him down.
be a knockdown?
You gonna say he off balance?
He didn't drop him. He didn't hit the canvas.
Because the ropes hit him up, right?
Exactly. If the ropes weren't there, he would have fell out the ring.
No, I ain't gonna say all that.
He would have fell out the ring.
No. I knocked down when Mean Machine knocked Bud down. That's a knockdown.
Wow.
I'm telling you, man, the way he looked against Ugas, that accident took something out of him, man. He ain't the same fighter he was before that accident. He can train as hard as he ever have against Bud. Bud gonna capitalize on every mistake he make when they fight each other.
How many
and
times
it ain't
Spence don't drink no more, man. He lifting cows.
How many
times
Earl Spence don't drink
why did he drink?
How you know he doesn't drink anymore?
He probably was. He probably was drinking out of stress because he knew Bud was on that ass. That's probably why. Hey y'all, but we gonna wrap the show up though, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all give y'all final thoughts though, and then we finna wrap the show up. I've been on here about 3 hours and 12 minutes, man. So let me start out with my guy, the newest dude that done came to the panel, and appreciate you for stopping on through. My guy Joe Cool, man. Final thoughts, bro.
All right, salute to everybody. Hope everybody be safe. Hopefully we'll get this fight. If not in December, hopefully by March of next year. And I just think Bud gonna stop him at 8 or 9 rounds. That's all I gotta say.
Ooh, big facts.
That's all I gotta say. Peace to everybody.
Peace. Appreciate you once again, man. Okay, let me let the lone Errol Spence fan on the panel. Let me let him give his final thoughts. Reginald, final thoughts, man.
Yeah, my final thoughts is thanks for you guys for having me. It was a great night. And like my man said earlier, hopefully the fight will get through and get made. If not, we got Wilder Hellenius coming up next week. And if they do fight, I think Earl going to get a unanimous decision over Bud. And thanks.
Oh no, hell no. You can't end with that. But hey man, I appreciate you, bro. Hey, you held your own on here tonight, bro. I got nothing but respect for you, bro. You stood in the trenches when they was going after your ass. Hey, so much respect to you, man, for coming through, man. Appreciate you again, bro.
And I'll follow too.
Yes, sir, man. Hit that sub button, man. Appreciate you, man.
Okay.
All right, let me go to my guy Lightspeed, man. Lightspeed, final thoughts for the night. What's going on?
Hey man, just salute to the panel and everybody that showed up. Salute to you, King David. Appreciate you, fam. And look, I don't got it. Like I said, popcorn. I'm just listening to the Spence fans and just dig that grave deeper and deeper and deeper. All you gotta do is just listen. So same thing, man. I'm not really looking to the fight. You know what I mean? However Crawford like cements his legacy, however that goes. You know what I mean? Shit, it was good to go along for the ride. I really just right now, I think PBC for me is messing up boxing. I don't like a lot of all the stuff that's going on. So I just really look to like a lot of the young fighters, whether it's the Keyshawn's, the Frank Martins, Haney, Shakur, and other fighters like that, and just hope that they gonna do something different, because what we seeing right now is a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? Hopefully they'll bring back a golden age of boxing or some shit. But right now this shit looking crazy. So that's all I gotta say, man. Shout out to you. Appreciate. Keep doing your thing, boss.
Oh man, all day, man. Appreciate you, fam, for coming on through, bro. Yes, sir. Hey, anybody do, man, y'all be sure to hit that like button, man, and subscribe if you do, man. Anybody that's new in the building, man. But let me also go to my guy, Bold and Understandings, man. Final thoughts, man. What's going on?
Hey, man, we all know the PBC mission is Operation Age Bud Out, because they don't want to fight Bud. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad Reggie came on, man, because this ain't nothing but bulletin material, man. I could make a whole bunch of clips for all that capping he was doing for Errol Spence and whatnot, man.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, it's good talking to everybody, man. Salute to you, King Dave, and salute to everybody on the panel. Peace out.
Oh yeah, man. Much love, man. Much love. And y'all be sure to subscribe to my guy Bold and Understandings on YouTube, man. He got a good boxing channel. You know what I mean? Y'all be sure to subscribe, man. If you rock with your boy, subscribe to my guy's channel, man. He got a good channel. You know what I mean? And last but not least, we gotta go to my guy AB. Go ahead and close us up, AB, man. Final thoughts.
Once again, my G, I appreciate you having me on the panel. Salute to everybody on the panel. Salute to everybody watching. Subscribe to my guy. But like I told you months and months and months ago, this shit is not gonna happen. Ever since Bud walked up on that dude at the Maurice Hooker fight, I knew it wasn't gonna happen. And I mean, we can blame Al Hammond, we can blame the PBC, but at the end of the day, Errol Spence is a grown goddamn man that signed whatever fucking contract. So we can't blame Bob, we can't blame Al, we can't blame the PBC. All this shit on Errol Spence's feet. And the reason why this fucking fight is not gonna be made, is never gonna be made, because fans like Reggie, these fucking fanboys out here, they want Bud to do this, to do that, to do all this shit, and still making excuses for this dude. They still won't put no type of pressure on Errol Spence. None of them. So look for this Errol Spence Keith Thurman fight for the WBC mandatory up next. I'm telling you, that's where I got my money at. But y'all fellas have a good evening.
Hey, man, salute, man. Have a good evening, man. Appreciate you for coming on through. That's AB, one of my day one subscribers, man. Y'all be sure to he also has a YouTube channel, man. Y'all be sure to subscribe to my guy AB on YouTube as well, man. Argentress Barber. Look for him on YouTube, man. He be spitting from time to time, man. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and close the show, man. This was a good one tonight, man. I appreciate everybody for coming on through. You know what I'm saying? My guys who was on the panel, my guy Bold and Understandings, AB, you know what I'm saying? My guy Joe Cool, you know what I'm saying? We had Reginald Peters also here in the building, man. We had a few guys up here, Lightspeed, you know what I'm saying? Don Vaughn also in the building, man. Salute to all y'all. Salute to everybody who was in the chat. Best videos, Jackie Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Who else we got? My guy World Combat Sports came through. You know what I'm saying? And C's, you know, we had a few people that done came through in the building, man. Salute to my sponsors. that came through in a super chat, man. I'm gonna start promoting it a little bit more, man. The super chats, man. So the guys that came through in the super chat, salute to y'all, my guy. Truly Israel, once again, the sponsor of tonight's live, right? Truly Israel came through with the $9.99 super chat. We also had Jamal Neezy came through with a $2 super chat, and also my guy Don Vaughn once again coming through with a $5 super chat, man. So salute to all the sponsors, man. Salute to everybody that was able to come through. Let me read the final poll numbers real quick, man. So the question that I asked was, do you think Bud Crawford should move on from Errol Spence? As of right now, the final numbers are 40% of everybody is saying yes, Bud Crawford should move on. And I got 60% of everybody that is saying no, Bud Crawford should not move on. I mean, y'all know what part of the spectrum I fall to, but you know, it is what it is, man. I appreciate everybody who stayed and voted. Everybody who came on, all that, you know what I'm saying? But with all that being said, man, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody hit that like button on your way out. But until next time, man, I'm gonna holler at all of y'all. Peace. Oh, yeah, also too, man, before I head out, man, my guy, Best Videos had a little comment. Let me read his comment real quick. He said, hold on, let me go to that real quick. He said, hold on, shit. He want that smoke with Knockout Boxing 86 TV. So Best Videos, real quick, man, before I close up shop, Best Videos, you do you want to do that on this channel or do you want to do it on Knockout channel, man? Let me know that real quick if you're listening, Best Videos. You want to do that on this channel or you want to do that on Knockout channel? Because we can set that up. I ain't got no problem reaching out to my guy. You let me know what topic you want to debate. As a matter of fact, man, let me put my I'm gonna put my email address in the chat, bro. So if you want, email me the details of what it is you're looking to do. You know what I'm saying? And I will reach out to Knockout and we'll get it set up for you, bro. All day, every day. You know, all day, every day. There go the email address. And yeah, Lightspeed, I do got a Cash App, bro. My Cash App is in the it's in the description below. Not the description, but the little ticker. The little ticker, man. That's where my Cash App is at. Hold on, man. Let me I'm gonna take it off of that mode and just put it like I'm gonna just put it like that there. Oh, it's probably too much to okay. If you look in the little ticker below, man, I got my Cash App under there, man. So appreciate you, man. Anybody who's willing to donate to the channel, appreciate that, bro. But I got my email down there for you, Best Videos. So link me up if you want to get that work with Knockout Boxing. And yeah, we're gonna wrap up the show on that. But again, salute to everybody who came through tonight. Y'all be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. But I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.